It's LV Europa. Whatever you do, make sure you do it in the toughest environment. Mac double. That's the only way we grow. Yo, roll call for them tough niggas who act inspiring. You can't hit the stage with my vets if you don't meet requirements. Heard you did all that work from the fifth to the first when I birthed your retirement. You hanging it up and it's still not enough in the toughest environment. Toughest environment, niggas will spit till they vomiting. Toughest environment, niggas will bring the piranhas in. Toughest environment, better be talking to scholarship. Toughest environment. Who the toughest, who the strongest, who the smartest? Hitting the stage, PowerPoint, and I'm going through papers regardless. Listen up, got a point to prove, but I'm moving on, cause you niggas retarded. Toughest environment, only up make you a target. You don't want that smoke, see Jabari last week, run down on the whole Christina class with the pop. Oh my God, sa.neter, I think you the GOAT, no rigmarole. Still take total control, just put my shit at the top of the pole. For toughest environment. Listen, just get it, I'm still past a minute, I work every minute, and maybe I'm Ankh with Chris and his thoughts, and I thought you should know that this ain't a scrimmage. And I'm shaping you right, molding you tight to be in the image of toughest environment. Yo, roll call for them tough niggas who act inspiring. You can't hit the stage with my vets if you don't meet requirements. Heard you did all that work from the fifth to the first when I birthed your retirement. You hanging it up and it's still not enough in the toughest environment. Toughest environment, niggas will spit till they vomiting. Toughest environment, niggas will bring the piranhas in. Toughest environment, better be talking to scholarship. Toughest environment. I'm sure we can work this out, just get in the ring. You better be Zion Lexa, this best of divine prospect when he doing his thing. Or Captain Tazari, out there, cross that line, I get away clean. Or Ali Muhammad, so valid, still got me up on my team. All of it brought together because of the studio. Stop acting like y'all could've been doing that cause you didn't do it though. And I watch them lions get ran out of the den, this shit'll get crucial. Who you know take the whole damn stage and turn that shit to a musical. Stay in your cubicle. The environment's tough, don't wire me up, I'm calling your bluff. I'm running it back and I'm running it back like it's never enough. Got them diamonds in the rough, and we can't get to every treasure, but you gotta help me dig it up. But to me it's like whatever. Yo, roll call for them tough niggas who act inspiring. You can't hit the stage with my vets if you don't meet requirements. Heard you did all that work from the fifth to the first when I birthed your retirement. You hanging it up and it's still not enough in the toughest environment. Toughest environment, niggas will spit till they vomiting. Toughest environment, niggas will bring the piranhas in. Toughest environment, better be talking to scholarship. Toughest environment.
Man, LV Europa, man, that boy is mean on the mic, man. Did y'all hear them lyrics, man? The way he put that together? LV Europa is mean. JJ, the brother said he watched them lions get ran out of the den, bro. This when y'all was running from me. This when y'all was running from me, Mandinka, when you was a pseudo-Israelite. He said, and I watched them lions get ran out of the den. This shit'll get crucial. Toughest environment. Damn, Mandinka. Yeah, that's when y'all was running from me. But anyway, we got Cedric Ortega in the building because Daddy coming in tonight. So remember when Cedric hit the panel, he said, I'll be back, but he never came back. What the hell? What's going on, Cedric? What's going on? I understand, and you know, and Uncle Cat know that this is the toughest environment. So he want to keep his soldiers protected. Unc want to keep his soldiers. He said, I'm going to keep my soldiers protected. Unc reminds me of Captain Tazariak. See, you'll see Captain Tazariak get in the ring, but he will not bring his soldiers over here. Why? Because he know that they will get slaughtered by an Unc. He know we got the Unks here. You know, you got Smash that'll come through. You know, you got Shaka Upmost. And he don't want them to get smashed, so he got to come through. And that's the way Unc sees Cedric in them, man. He do not want to see Cedric get hurt and beat up. So he said, you know what, Cedric? I'm going to take the leash off you. You can go on over there to JJ channel. You know, I think you can handle yourself over there. You can go on over to the other channel, but stay off of that toughest environments. Shout out to Cedric Ortega in the building. Now, we got Uncle Cat in here, man. Unc is tired of he's fed up with the BS. That's why I call it real scholarship or fake scholarship. And we're about to find out who's coming with the real. Who's going to be coming with real scholarship versus fake scholarship? I want to warn you, Unc. We got a sister out there on the prowl who's on your neck. We got a sister who's on your neck. She go by the name of Neptali, and she will be in the building July the 19th. And you see what she wrote. This her flyer. She put, "Can belief in evolution be a sign of mental illness?" And she got you as the leading monkey head man. Yeah. She got Q right there. She got I don't know who the other two people are. The sister.
That's Charles Darwin right there.
That's who?
That's Charles Darwin right there.
No, I'm talking about the three down here. That's in the straight jacket.
There's Juju, Cedric, and Q.
Oh man. Oh my God. So Neptali is not playing, Unc. She's on your neck. She coming for you. So she's watching.
Would I be wrong if I showed a picture with her wig halfway crooked on the side? Would that be wrong?
Hey, no, you won't be wrong.
Right, because she got us up there with funky. So I'm gonna do one, and I have your wig tilted to the side like you being slick. I got you.
Oh man. But anyway, talk to me, man. What do you think?
I didn't say that. Man, why you put his name in that title, bro? I didn't tell you to do that. You just made it.
But this is what I asked you.
Okay,
I asked you. I said, right, I did. But I asked you to give me a title. I always ask you, and you don't do it.
I'm going in on Jabari and Smash today.
I gotta get a title.
I'm going in on Sekou, Jabari, and Smash today.
Oh, so you ain't dealing with the Mandinka and the Black Indigenous?
No, Black Indigenous, man. I need my fair. I need the one-on-one. They need to come up.
Oh, they said they coming up.
Yeah,
JJ coming up after your presentation.
Tell JJ coming poised.
I told him that. I told him that too.
Tell him, we good.
I told him that.
With that foolery hollering, screaming. Like I know you forget, like he in and out.
Right.
And I don't like the way you characterized. You trying to bait Cedric, bro. You trying to bait him, yo. You said all that. Take a leash. I don't have leashes on people. He don't got no leash on me. Why you trying to do that, son? You play wild, man.
You know what? You're supposed to say that. I got you.
It's the truth, though, yo.
I got you. You're supposed to say that.
Man, nah, man. He just chilling. He actually be doing what he's supposed to do, bro. Like, you know what I mean? So he can go. We go. We want to go, right? I'm saying science is undefeated, though, man. So what I'm gonna do here is
undefeated. I agree with you. So where did we start at? All right. So I'm gonna change the name.
We had a great. It was your favorite show where it was 4 against 1.
Right.
4 against 1, bro. And you've been around for a long time. It was really 5 against 1 because you was jumping in.
I wasn't, brother.
Yes, you was, yo.
Okay, y'all spar, brother.
Nah, you didn't. You jump in on their side. You was trying. You like, hold on, that he getting a little bit. Then everybody got real jumpy. Sekou talking about it's our show. Why you letting them on here? Trying to get me out. They was all trying to run me up. First, they want to talk crazy and reckless. When I pop up, though, everybody want to change it out. Crazy. So I got the video footage. I want my lick back. Right? And that's all. And it's right in the video. Jabari said some things. What Karakuni said. We're gonna see what Karakuni said.
All right. So you saying because I'm changing it as we go along. You said Jabari,
Smash, and Sekou.
Smash, Sekou. What about Shaka?
Shaka wasn't on there.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Yeah, he wasn't on there.
All right. So hey, you got the floor, brother.
Yeah. So make them deal with this. Right? I'm gonna play the video. Let me set it up to you. They tried to tell me what Karakuni said. I tried to tell them what my stance was. They were trying to act like I had the Chief X stance and the golf field, whatever. Don't mix me up on what I'm saying. I tried to tell you what my stance was. Everybody over talking, right? Smashed, misreading sources. Sekou, big up in the misreading of the sources. Jabari, college professor misreading sources, and nobody would just have a gentleman's conversation and be honest. Hey man, you know what you did? You read that wrong. Nobody wouldn't do it, right? They supposed to be the champions, bro. Right? So now I feel like it, right? And I'm gonna make sure I stay out the chat because the chat will say anything. Y'all gonna get y'all opportunity tonight. You're gonna get your chance to jump up here, right? And beat me on evolution or beat me on my Black Egypt stance. You're gonna get your shot at it, right? Don't get like Chris got. Chris got melted down all the way down. I had to get the young ones first. Now I want to get the old heads. Right? This black man ain't gonna come in here and say what he said. You feel me? He said a lot of reckless stuff on that show with Jay. JJ pumped him up, right? Pumped his head up, right? So I want to start this video. You was on there too, so this shot go right to YouTube. Sa.neter.
Oh man.
Yeah, man, you too. You was talking crazy because you was thinking they had something. They ain't got nothing, bro. What you talking about, man? All right, I got everything set up. So what I want to set the clip up though. All right, what I want to basically do is Smash gets on here and he goes to the Cairo Symposium and he reads something in the Cairo Symposium and he stops. So in these clips, you're gonna see Jabari gonna put what Karakuni said, he's gonna play it, and he's gonna stop right before my point. You're gonna see Smash start reading, he's gonna stop. I'm gonna say, man, why y'all keep stopping? Read it all the way through. They won't do it. You know why? Because there's something going on. It's something going on in that video when he stopped. Nobody want to hear my stance, right? It's something going on in the reading, right? Don't nobody want to hear my stance. Nobody want to let me finish. That's okay. Y'all don't want my fault. Y'all don't want to finish what y'all reading because y'all know if you read past the point, y'all stop, then everybody gonna get clarity. So let's start off with this there. This is your show right here, right? You was on here cheering them up. All right, I'm gonna mute out and I'm gonna play it. You gotta share the screen. And then I'm gonna hurry it up.
Well, I ain't even focusing. I swear I'm not focusing on Bob right now. I want people to look at this, right? Just real quick, and I'm gonna do it quick. Now, this Kimu is a name that.
Now, hold on. I'm gonna get what you said, so that's why I'm shooting at you too, because you was in there talking reckless with him. Hold on. Watch this. Let you know you on my side. He gonna say cool, all jumping in wrong. Look, here we go.
Even if I disagree with him, I have to read what he's saying because this is science. You can't say because I disagree with this person ideologically, I'm not going to check his work. So people are telling me, don't read his work. No, I disagree with you. I will read his work.
Me and Asar have healthy disagreements. I don't agree with some of his stands, but it remained healthy. Can I continue just showing this real quick, Si, so we can get the gist of this? This word is found here over in about 14 at the stations. It is Kimu. All right, it ain't. Now Herman Ranker did not say much about Kimu. He didn't describe it.
Smash. I think it's enough, man. We need our brother. Keep him breathing, man. We still love our brother, man.
Okay. I swear I'm not focusing on Bob right now. Right? Just real quick, and I'm gonna do it quick. Now, this Kimu is a name that we found since Diop's conference, right? And we can say, I know if he had this, he would have pulled it up, because when I click out and go to the symposium book, Sanaran says right here, to intervene in the course of a lively exchange on views of linguistic matters between Professor Abdullah and Joe, stated that Egyptian Kim, feminine Kemet, meant black, and that the masculine plural was Kimu. Kimu is what I just showed you. We found that he's saying that these are names for black. And the form Kemet to you could only mean two things. Those of Kemet are the inhabitants of the black country. This is the European scholar saying this. But let's look at this, y'all. He further ended by saying, to designate black people, the Egyptians would have said Kemet or Kimu, which I just showed you, not Kemet to you. We know they say Kemet all over the place. We know for a fact they say Kemet all over the place. Furthermore, the last thing I'll say, and I'm going to end it, You can go look at the UNESCO conference and put the word.
Why are you moving that though, Smash?
Because
I'm put that back there.
You can put the word silk in the UNESCO conference and look, it appears red. What does that let us know? No one at that conference appeared gutsy enough to try to mount the black silk argument back. You can put silk soil, all of it. None of those scholars would dare do that in the face of Sheikh and Diop and all the overwhelming evidence they had. Thank you for letting me share that side. I'm muting.
All right. Hey, I still I want to say without any shadow of a doubt, I respect the man who fight his hardest and fight back.
Oh, just let me show my source then, and we'll finish that.
Fight back. Ankh did fight back, but
let me leave with my source. Let me leave with my source, though. Let me leave with my source. It's the punch you can't see to knock you out. All right. Now, I want to deal with the source that Smash read. Right? Let's see if he is understanding what that source said. Of course he didn't. Here you go. This is the source. All right. This is from 1974 Cairo Symposium. The peopling of Egypt and the decipherment of Meretic script. Here you go. Symposium on the peopling of Egypt. So he reads right here. Right? He reads this, what Salaran talks about. It says it's clear Professor Salaran is intervening. All right. In the course of a lively exchange of views on linguistic matters between Professor Abdullah and Diop's, stated that the Egyptians KM, feminine KMT, meant black. The masculine plural was Kimenu, and the feminine plural is Kemetu. It's the form Kemetu could mean only two things: those of Kemet, the inhabitants of Kemet, the black country. It says it was a derived adjective, a nesba, formed from a geological term which had become a proper name. It was not necessarily felt with its original meaning. So Salaran, he's jumping in, right? He's splitting them apart. Both of y'all calm down. This is what it really is. Okay, now Diop's is not a linguist. Abdullah's not. But this guy is, and he explains it. Now watch this. It says to designate black people, okay, the Egyptians would have said, you see that right there? We argued for months on would have said. Jabari act like he don't know what would have mean. Sekou don't know what the hell would have mean. And Smash don't know what would have mean. They right there, Reggie act like he didn't know what would have mean. Now, since then, Reggie has changed his stance, right? And he playing fair, and he will admit what would have mean. If I said, I'm going to Oakland and punch Smash in his mouth, and I get there and I say, I would have done it, but by the time I got there, yo, he had a whole rack of dudes with him and I left. That doesn't mean I wouldn't punch him in his mouth. I'm simply saying I would have. Would have doesn't mean you did it. Okay? Doesn't mean that. But these guys on this panel trying to make me look bad, nobody would admit it. And Smash read it from right here. He did this. He said to designate the black people, the Egyptians would have said Kemet, Kimenu, not Kimware. And he stopped right here. I said, yo, don't stop. Keep reading it. So let me read what he didn't read. In any case, he says, in any case, they never use this adjective to indicate the black people of the African hitherlands, whom they knew about from the time of the New Kingdom. Goes down here on page 83, say onwards. It say, nor in general did they use names of colors to distinguish different people. Well, there you have it. That's why he ain't finished reading that sa.neter, because if he finished reading, you would get the full context of it. Let's go back to the video again. So, and, you know, for people just act like I'm always trying to be right. I don't know what I'm talking about. Well, let's see. Look, listen, man. Here we go. Go back just a little bit. I'm going to play it right here so we get it.
Yeah, but Ankh, we all know that they was not using color, brother. We know that.
No, Reggie, not in this video. We didn't. They all fought that. You forgot what the fight was?
No, we always said they wasn't using the English definition. They wasn't saying black.
Listen.
They would use words like Kim.
I'm not listening. Kim mean black, bro.
Right, but that's what they were saying. They wasn't saying black in English.
Right here,
and
Reggie.
they wasn't using the colors.
Reggie.
Go ahead, brother.
Reggie. Listen, whatever you think you saying, you gotta listen to what they saying. I'm saying the man didn't read the source right. Now you can get into the color and play that little game. I'm saying the man didn't read the source right. Let me show you he didn't read the source right. Here you go. This ain't no big heart thing.
And that the masculine plural was Kimu. Kimu is what I just showed you. We found that he's saying that these are names for black. And the form Kemet to you could only mean two things. Those of Kemet are the inhabitants of the black country. This is the European scholar saying this. But let's look at this, y'all. He further ended by saying to designate black people, the Egyptians would have said Kemet or Kimu, which I just showed you. Not Kemet to you. We know they say Kemet all over the place. We know for a fact they say Kemet all over the place. Furthermore, the last thing I'll say, and I'm going to end it, you can go look at the UNESCO conference and put the word
Why are you moving that though, Smash?
Because
I'm put that back there.
You can put the word silk in the UNESCO conference and look, it appears red. What does that let us know? No one at that conference appeared gutsy enough to try to mount the black silk argument back. You can put silk soil, all of it. None of those scholars would dare do that in the face of Sheikh and Dijon and all the overwhelming evidence they had. Thank you for letting me share that side. I'm muting.
All right. Hey, I still I want to say without any shadow of a doubt, I respect the man who fight his hardest and fight back.
Oh, just let me show my source then, and we'll finish that.
Fight back. Did fight back. But
let me leave with my source. Let me leave with my source, though. Let me leave with my source. It's the punch you can't see to knock you out. First of all, I would like to say the Smash misread that. Should have. When a person says would have, right, that actually means they didn't do it. Jabari knows that, but Jabari sits over there real comfortable and won't say Smash. You kind of misread that. That's not what it was actually saying.
That's actually not true what you're saying.
Put it back up. I'll tell you what. Grammar. Put it back up there and let's
now,
let Mr.
When
Jabari.
You put have after would, you can't
put it back up. Let Jabari be the tiebreaker. Hey, Jabari, be the tiebreaker on this.
He neither said that they did. He neither said.
Jabari, can I get your help?
Wait, Smash. 1 second.
Go ahead.
Sonoran neither said that they did or they didn't. So you can't launch an argument that says he didn't because.
Reggie, your network's not good.
It's not conclusive.
I don't see nothing. No.
You know,
Reggie making it up. Smash don't know what would have mean. Let's look at actual grammar and let's see what would have actually means. Okay, I'm gonna come right here. We put it in here to see exactly what it meant. What did it actually mean? Oh man, goodness gracious, hold on. I didn't want that. How did it get there? Here we go. I actually jocked the document in there, right? And let's see what it is. Right? The linguistic breakdown of the phrase. Here you go. We just do this for y'all real quick. Would have, a conditional hypothetical mode of English. It implies what the Egyptians might have done, if their intentions had been to designate black people as such. It does not mean that they actually said this in practice. That's what I was trying to tell them. So to answer directly, no, Sadaran is not saying that the Egyptians did say the Kemet or Kemenu to refer to black people. Instead, he's saying if they had wanted to refer to someone's skin color as black, the correct adjective form would have been Kemenu masculine or Kemet feminine, not Kemi where. It's which is a gentilic for the people of Kemet. That's what we've been trying to tell you the whole time. The word Kemet ain't never meant black people. First of all, it's anachronistic to say that. Second of all, read all the sources. It's saying in any case, they never use the adjective to indicate black people of the African hinterlands. I read that. This sentence confirms sa.neter's position. The Egyptians did not use color adjectives like Kiminu, Kemet to refer to African peoples from the South. They also did not use Kimwe to mean black people. Simple as that. I don't want to get into the scholarly implications of this and all that. Y'all can go ahead and act like something happened, didn't happen, because it did not. Okay, so I'm going to summarize this and get out of here. sa.neter is not stating that the Egyptians called themselves Kimu or Kiminu. He is stating that if they had wanted to say black people as a color term, they would have used Kimi, Kiminu, not Kimware. But in practice, they didn't use either to label foreign Africans. That's it. We don't got to sit up here and fight and act like that ain't what it was. All they had to do is be fair and be gentlemen, right? As we was having a discourse, Jabari teaches in colleges, man. He's supposed to say, hold on, Smash. That's not what it means. Right? Smash is telling me I'm wrong. You're wrong. That's wrong. Let's see him misread this source. Now, this source is dealing with a book that you will see in about 5 minutes that the professor, doctor, okay, we was actually did an interview, okay, Carol Cooney, and she recommended a book. The book she recommended was this book right here that I'm about to read. Smash thinks that this book right here is actually supporting Jabari, Sekou, and Reggie and them argument. He's trying to say that this book that I'm about to show you actually is trying to change the name of the word Kemet, trying to change the meaning of the name Kemet to black people. And I'm telling him, nah, bro, that's not what that book is. It's not doing that. Okay? How do I know? Because I understand the person's work. The person was trying to say that the word Kemet could be is normally applied to the whole of Egypt, but maybe they was meaning that it was applied just the areas where you find the alluvial black soil at, the Kemet. Here we go. Getting this in because I got some pseudos that I know. I got some pseudos that's waiting that I know they want to come. Here we go.
Launch an argument when he said neither.
No, man, he did. They never used it though. He said they never used it in that whole thing.
No. He said commit to you, right?
He said they never,
you can't launch an argument about Kemet when he neither said that they did or didn't.
What does the word would have, man? Mean?
No, would have no.
What
if
does it mean?
You want to be conclusive, you would have said they didn't
no,
or you did.
Reggie. What does the word would have?
Hold on for 1 minute, Unc. I did that. Pause, y'all. In order for me to get out of this shadow ban, I need at least 100 people to hit the like button, man. It don't cost nothing to hit the like button. Can you please hit the like button so that my channel could get back into the algorithms? That's what I need. I needed to get back into the algorithms. All right. I spoke to YouTube. I spoke to them through the, thing today. And I need y'all to hit the like button. Please. Thank you. All right, go ahead. I'm going to put it back up. You back, huh?
He left it open.
No, he didn't. He read the whole thing. All right, I'm done. Let me get on my source, man. Hey, Reggie, I'm disappointed in you. I get it. When you're around smashing them, Jabari the only one being just a gentleman because you teaching the college, Jabari, and you supposed to be able to read that sentence, Jabari, and say, you know what, gentlemen. No, oh, come on.
Hey,
for
the people out here, read that to us so we can understand.
Nah, they don't want to do it. The college professor don't want to read the statement, right? So I got to bring a third grade teacher on to read the thing. I'm going to definitely do that, man. So we right here with ancient Egyptian society, right? Okay. And it talks about the term Kemet, all right? It says, other instances of people going down, right? They use the term right there, into Kemet, right? Occur in the prophecies of Nefertari, right? When 3MW Southwest Asians enter Egypt, and in the mining expedition accounts when the caravan returns. See, they always try to tell you they don't have evidence. Now watch this. It say in all these cases, the use of the phrase Kemet conjugated accordingly to the context. See, you got to put it in its proper context, signifies the act of entering the land of Egypt, which is considered distinct from the desert region immediately surrounding it. Alternatively, in all of these cases, Kemet may simply be referring to the literal black oral soil of the floodplain, meaning that the Wadi Naturum and the Eastern Desert mining sites were not in Kemet. It's and necessitating a change in its definition and standard translations from the collective whole of Egypt in the Nile floodplain. So it's simply trying to tell y'all, right? It's in these texts. Y'all see the text. Y'all see all that. When they're using the term, they're not using it to determine any damn people. They're talking about the floodplains. They're talking about the area with the black soil. Come on, Reggie.
He said May. He was
Reggie,
also inconclusive.
Reggie, what are you talking about right now? I'm reading a whole different source, Reggie.
No, but I read the sentence that you read.
Reggie,
and when he's talking about the floodplains, right? He says May.
Reggie.
This is sad. Let me go next, sir. I got this, Reggie. Trust me, I got this, Reggie.
If I could just say something really quick.
After Jabari, I got this, Reggie.
The point I want to make right here, right, is in here they're showing you where they use the term in these texts. Okay, the New Kingdom theme scene, again, setting the Wadi separated from the foreign of Egypt. They're showing the prophecy of Nefertari. They're showing you, right, when they use this term, it's referring to the land.
The challenge, but Ankh, here's the challenge, though. Here's the issue.
No,
First of all,
no, Jabari.
You asked me to weigh in. I'm weighing in.
No, I asked you to put that sentence up there and ask us what that means. It's what I asked you to do, and you refused to do it. Reggie playing some wild
You asked me to do something, and now I'm trying to do it, and now you don't want me to do it.
You don't see the sentence to do it.
How you gonna let me body him, Jabari? Hey, sa.neter, share my screen. Let's go ahead, Jabari.
I think that what you have to recognize is, it seems to me that Saruman is making a possible argument. That's the reason why he says it may mean this. And in addition to that, he says, I'm looking at these three sources. So unless you are saying that Smash is, wait a minute, let me finish. Unless you're saying that Smash made up the sources that he put on the screen, I mean, that's the only way that you could say that.
You know what I'm talking about right now?
Because listen, Sarge Saruman says that he's looking at three sources.
Yes.
Smash just showed you other sources that were not in his three sources.
No, we're talking about the sentence that he keep mischaracterizing. That
the sentence says may. He's making a possible.
No, and then he said they never did it. If you read the next sentence, he did.
And it says in these sources. He gives you the sources.
God. Come on, man. Come on. You heard all that, right? Back to the source again, so we don't mess this up. Like I said, to designate black people, the Egyptians would have, that's the term, said Kemet or Kemiyu, not Kimware. Watch this. In any case, they never, let me say this again, in any case, they never used this adjective to indicate the black people of the African hitherlands, whom they knew from about the time of the New Kingdom. Go down here, onward. Nor in general did they use names of colors to distinguish different peoples. There you go. Why is they sitting up there acting like that ain't what they said? Why is they doing that to me? I supposed to be their brother, right? We supposed to be in a healthy discourse. Yeah, I'm saying you're going to win and lose. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, and sa.neter make 5. And they all acting like they not understanding that. But watch this. Now I move on to another source and read it. And watch Smash do the same thing. And watch all of them support. Like, we got to be able to read our sources. Here we go. Yo, I expect more out of you. No. You know what, dog? Y'all wild for that.
Sa.neter, this about to be crazy because the source I have on the screen is the same exact one that Brother Ankh only perused and showed you a mere section of.
But you know, wait. Before you say this, can I say one thing?
Because I asked you to look at some sentences and tell us what it said.
We're even losing the audience. I want you to recognize that even tonight, we have to be careful because what Ankh has done is he shifted the argument.
I never shifted
the reality, I'm about to explain how. So listen. The reality, you have to listen to my comment so you can see what I'm saying.
All right, what?
So the reality is, from the beginning, we have truly been contesting what Garfield, what Ankh, and what Chief X has said, and a few others. They have said that the people. Heather, will you listen so I can make what I'm so I can explain what I'm saying? So what he is saying, what they have said, is that the people who live there now are the same as the people who live there in the ancient world. That's what started this debate.
I never said that. I never said that.
Please don't make me pull up the quote. Please don't make me pull up the video.
Pull it up. Please pull it up.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you politely.
If you let me talk.
Are you telling me that you have never said that the people who live in Kemet now are phenotypically and culturally the same as the people who lived there during the ancient world?
Jabari, the people who live there today aren't ethnically the same as the ancient people. They do not speak the language. They do not.
But that's not the question I just asked.
You just said culturally. I would never have said that.
I said phenotypically and culturally. Answer phenotypically.
And what I said is phenotypes can change, right? So they're clear. I just read a source that clearly says that their phenotype is there. There's mixed phenotypes there. So what I said was populations aren't frozen in time. That over time, of course, the population shift back and forth. The population was already shifted on the Nile Valley before the formation of.
You're not answering the question.
Jabari, there is a Jabari.
You're not answering the question.
Answer the question.
What I've said was that the population that lives there today is more closely related to the ancient population than any other population on Earth. That's my statement. That's what I said.
But answer my question. You can say yes or no.
That the population is in the Nile Valley now is closer related to the ancient Egyptians than any other population, brother.
Now, let me say this.
I'm saying no than any other place on planet Earth.
I have heard you say many times that phenotypically the people
pause for a moment.
Are the people that live there in the ancient world. That's where this whole argument.
Now I don't know. I could be wrong, but I think you would have been better off going at Mandinka Mali.
No, he's not at my level.
And indigenous black man, because
he's not at my level.
I don't think you really going in on this one, man. You ain't really,
because you do like you normally do. You're not patient.
Okay. I'm gonna wait and see the point.
So let me see if you got this. So I pulled up the document of the Cairo Symposium. Correct, sa.neter?
Yes.
Right? And I said what it said, and Smash said it didn't say that, and Jabari and them all agreed with it. So they was all wrong on that one. Can we at least agree to that? Come on, bro. Don't make me. I'll do it again.
Yes, you're right on that. You're right on that.
But on that damn show,
the point.
Okay, and that damn show, which was high leverage, I'm going against 5 people, bro. The audience making jokes, cracking like I was actually wrong. Now, when I come back and slow it down, we see, damn, he did misread that. Now we moving to another source that he misread.
Okay, all right. Let me get to the punchline. I'm gonna see what you got.
Right. The punchline is they're mischaracterizing sources to quote unquote try to defeat me in my conversation. One, the man said should have, right? Which is a form of speech. I explained all that. Smash would act like he wasn't. It was. This next source is Smash is trying to act like that the lady who wrote the book was trying to say that the meaning of Kemet is now changing. No, their whole fight is the word Kemet meaning black. So he's trying to use a source to kind of support him that the word Kemet means black people. And I'm saying that source didn't mean that. That source was trying to show you that the demarcation of Kemet is it changed back and forth. That sometimes the whole of Egypt could be the Kemet, and sometimes just the black alluvial soil area, floodplain area is the Kemet. Sometimes the Kemet could include the delta where the black soil is too, and sometimes it can only include just the part of the Nile Valley that doesn't include that. She was simply showing that based off of different ancient texts, it moves around. And to be very, very specific, right? When we talk about the Kemet, we're only talking about the floodplain areas. That's what it really breaks down to, because you got people in the Deseret, which is still part of Egypt, but it's not the Kem.
You know what I think, Unc? I think you are afraid.
No, come on. See, you don't help again.
Smash one-on-one.
Help again.
No. I'm asking.
Man, stop it. This is me. Stop it.
Why don't you debate smash one-on-one, brother?
I'll do that any day of the week.
I'm calling him
right now. I'm calling him out right now. I'm calling him out right now,
brother, in the back chat.
Do you not hear me?
What I gotta pay you to do this, man? To get in the ring?
Don't pay me anything to do that.
See? So you're doing it for free for the people?
No, I don't even care about for the people. I care about the time it takes me to beat Smash half to death.
Right, but I'm saying
I'm not. Look, you doing this on purpose. I'm making a point and diving with the whole conductor debate. Come on, bro.
All right, let's go. Okay,
what happened? I'm saying is fee 5 4 fum on Jabari, fee 5 4 fum on Sekou, fee 5 4 fum on Smash. You can pull them all together because I'm right here with all three of them, bro. And you seeing the mistakes they make. Well, maybe it's 3 against 1. We need to do that.
Yeah,
I'll take that on. How about that? Fee 5 4 fum. Let's keep going. And I'm gonna get it, this black man and them, yo. They gonna get that same crazy work that Chris got.
Oh,
watch the show. Chris got that crazy work. This man still don't know what a scientific theory is. And everybody to go against evolution, I'm asking the same question. What the hell is a scientific theory? Right. Okay, we moving on. Don't interrupt this, bro.
Yeah.
Set it up again. This is another source. This source y'all will find, I actually put it up on a Karakuni interview to which Jabari mischaracterizes me again. He tricked you too, sa.neter. Yeah, y'all pulled it up, y'all played it, and mischaracterized lady. She agrees with us. I'm going to show you how she does not agree with you. How she agrees with me and the great John Henry Clark. So let's move forward. I know it's hard for you. You mix me up with Chief X. Say that,
brother. Your question to Dr. Karakuni was, were the Kemetic people black?
What did she know?
You didn't say. Wait a minute. You did not say. The question was not, did they consider themselves black? The question was, were they black? And then when she said yes, then you switched what you asked her.
No, she said they wasn't black.
Oh my God.
She said based off of the daggone racist rule, right, in the South, in the 1930s, they would be considered black, is what she said, bro. And I said, being as though you're a professor, you already know that's the Jim Crow laws.
I'm feeling like you. I'm feeling like you are saying that we should ignore our ears and our eyes because we heard you say.
No, hey, Jabari, I know what my conversation is, right? You the one don't understand my conversation, right? When I say the populations are very fluid over time, there's no stuck population in the world. There's no stuff. I'm saying there would never be the exact same. Jabari.
Go ahead, Smash. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to play the question. That's what I'm going to do. You do what you're doing. I'll be back.
Somebody must have served a source that he thought he could use without reading. It always happens.
I read the whole source.
Now, in this article, Daniel Candelora is trying to say, we need to look at the definition of Kemet as the black land because it don't work when you look at primary sources.
I know y'all heard that clear as day. Did you hear that? sa.neter, I got to walk you through it. Did you hear Smash say that, bro? I know you weren't paying attention. Did you hear what he said?
Said, play it again.
All right.
Argument came from.
You mix me up with Chief X. Say that,
Brother, your question to Dr. Karakuni was, were the Kemetic people black?
What did she know?
You didn't say, wait a minute. You did not say, the question was not, did they consider themselves black? The question was, were they black? And then when she said yes, then you switched what you asked her.
No, she said they wasn't black.
Oh my God.
She said based off of the daggone racist rule, right, in the South. In the 1930s, they would be considered black, is what she said, bro. Now, hold on, Sir. I want you to, when I play that clip, remember what I said. Remember what Jabari said. Now, watch what Smash said about this source. Y'all got to follow. Trying to make it as simple as possible. Don't forget what Jabari said, right? Live on sa.neter TV, right? 5 against 1. Remember what he said, I said. And remember what he said, the lady said. And then watch when I play the interview how I don't even be that. And the interview is on my channel, so you good. Now, I want you to hear what Smash say this source is saying. All right? Watch this. Bro. And I said, being as though you're a professor, you already know that's the Jim Crow laws.
I'm feeling like you. I'm feeling like you are saying that we should ignore our ears and our eyes because we heard you say.
No, hey, Jabari, I know what my conversation is, right? You the one don't understand my conversation, right? When I say the populations are very fluid over time, there's no stuck population in the world. There's no stuck. I'm saying there would never be the exact same. Jabari.
Go ahead, Smash. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to play the question. That's what I'm going to do. You do what you're doing. I'll be back.
Somebody must have served Ankh a source that he thought he could use without reading. It always happens.
I read the whole source.
Now, in this article, Daniel Candelora is trying to say, we need to look at the definition of Kemet as the black land because it don't work when you look at primary sources.
Did you hear that this time?
I heard it. I heard what he's saying.
All right. During that time, you ain't even realize that shit. You sitting there, I don't know what you're doing with your red bandana on. The hell you doing?
Sounds good, though. That's all. Go ahead.
It sound good? Now, if you look up the lady, she's not trying to change the name of Kemet. She's trying to change the demarcation of it. The word demarcation ain't definition. So she ain't trying to do that. Demarcation means the location of it. And as I explained it to you, right, Kim is the area, is the floodplain where it actually overflows. Is where an indigenous African culture formed their farming, okay? They farm off of the black land. That's why the color is so important. That's why they thought it was magical, because shit would just grow out it magically. Where in other places like Mesopotamia, it was hard trying to farm. They were saying them damn Egyptians ain't really farmers because the shit just grow. Okay? So he's trying to say disingenuously or just misreading. I'm going to say just misreading. He's trying to say that the lady is trying to change that. She's not trying to change the meaning of Kemet. She's an Egyptologist, right? She's in a scientific study, bro. She know what they say it is. And watch how I read the source. Here we go. And watch what I say, then you'll get it.
This is our overarching argument. Now, look, I just quoted y'all this part, right? But let's read the line right after it that contradicts and shows what her stance is. She says, slightly later, during the wars of reunification at the end of the Second Intermediate Period, more evidence can be found which challenges the standard demarcation of Kemet. What is the standard demarcation of Kemet? If y'all place that only this black now silk. Let's keep going. In his tomb autobiography, a soldier called Amos, son of Abana, records his deeds during the siege of Avaris under the Theban king Amos. After the defeat of Avaris, the soldier describes that there was soon another skirmish to the south of Avaris, this time in Kemet. Hold on. So is Avaris not in the Delta? Does Avaris not have fertile Nile silt.
Yes, it does.
Listen to what's well now when you just did it yourself. Again, now listen to what she said.
Now you know I'm gonna move back to that sentence that he starts reading off of, right? And he's gonna actually think the demarcation means definition. Or maybe he thought it was this is the definition. It didn't. Now watch how this man read this lady's stance right now. She's gonna tell you what it is. And then he gonna realize he fucked up. Excuse my language. Watch this. Here it come.
Says,
I can tell you what it says before you read it.
Listen to what she says. Again, a marked contrast is made between the town of Avaris, located in the eastern delta, and Kemet. This is an important distinction, since if the most accurate translation of Kemet is literally the black land, and the term actually refers to fertile agricultural land, then the delta and the city of Avaris should still be included.
Absolutely. Keep reading.
You see, y'all?
Smash, keep reading. Smash, keep reading. Smash, keep reading. Smash.
You to keep reading when you did not even continue to read.
I did. I can tell you what all it say. I read the whole thing. Smash, keep reading. Smash. I did.
You can keep reading.
I did.
You can go right ahead. You got the book.
Yeah, you Smash.
You got the book.
Oh, you took it all.
Hey, that just proved that she was writing that article to show that Kemet, the black land, ain't just the Nile silk.
Okay, so can I explain that, please? Because I read the whole chapter. Can I explain that?
Sa.neter.
Hold on, say cool. Hold on, say cool.
Ankh has come to disrupt
so cool.
the
say
show.
Cool. See, now say cool know the nigga in trouble. Because he was probably reading the winner like, oh, it don't mean that. And now he wanted to filibuster and jump in and talk crazy for 20 minutes. And then he talked crazy about me and Sa.neter. You don't even say nothing to him. Start calling me all kind of names. You ain't say nothing, but I can handle that though. But let's go back to the actual book again. So we heard what that man said. Right? We seen the things he read. So let's actually go to the book again. Here is the book. I read this part right here in yellow. In all these cases, the use of the phrase Kemet, conjuncted according to the context, signifies the act of entering the land of Egypt, which is considered distinct from the desert regions. You know, they call it the Deseret. Immediately surrounding, or say alternatively, in all these cases, Kemet may simply be referring to the literal black alluvial soil of the floodplains, meaning that the Wadi Nurum and the Eastern Desert mining sites were not in Kemet, and necessitating a change in its definition and standard translation from the collective whole of Egypt to the Nile floodplain. She was simply saying that instead of making the standard translation being for the collective whole of Egypt, then it should be just to the Nile floodplain. Y'all see that? This is how we comprehend. Smash dives out the damn window without a cape and reads this. He says, slightly later, you know he got the rap voice. Ain't nobody gonna beat it with that because he's a damn professional rapper. So it's hard to control the mic with him rocking. Watch this. Smash says this. Slightly later, during the wars of reunification at the end of the second intermediate period, more evidence can be found which challenges the standard demarcation of Kemet. This is where he messed up. What is the word demarcation? It's right here. Demarcation, the action of fixing the boundary or limits of something. The demarcation of a maritime border. He didn't even realize that. Watch this. Slightly later, during the wars of reunification at the end of the second intermediate period, more evidence can be found which challenges the standard demarcation of Kemet. Not the damn definition of Kemet, but the demarcation of it, where it's located at. In his tomb autobiography, a soldier called Akhmos, son of Ibana, recorded his deeds during the siege of Aris under the Theban king Akhmos. After the defeat of Arius, the soldier described that there was soon another skirmish to the south of Aris, this time in Kemet. See, again, a marked contrast is made between the town of Aris, located in the Eastern Delta, and Kemet. This is an important distinction, since if the most accurate translation of Kemet is literally the black land, and the term actually refers to the fertile agricultural land, then the Delta and the city of Aris should still be included within its territory limits. That's the point I'm trying to make right here. And if you think I just made that up, if you think I'm tripping, which I was not tripping, let's hear him say it again. Here you go. Smash.
A source that he thought he could use without reading. It always happens.
I read the whole source.
Now, in this article, Danielle Candelora is trying to say we need to look at the definition of Kemet as the black land, because it don't work when you look at primary sources. This is her overarching argument. Now, look, I just quoted y'all this part, right? But let's read the line right after it that contradicts and shows what her stance is. She says, slightly later, during the wars of reunification at the end of the second intermediate period, more evidence can be found which challenges the standard demarcation of Kemet. What is the standard demarcation of Kemet? If y'all place that only this black now silk.
See, the standard demarcation of Kemet ain't got nothing to do with the black silk and all that. The standard demarcation is the standard location that Egyptologists was applying, man. They applied it to the whole of Egypt. Now, Egyptologists using science is now trying to say that Kim should only refer to, right, the floodplain, the area where the actual black soil is. That's a mistake he made right there. And then we continue to fight. Watch this. Here we go. And I see you, Pan-African Designs. I see you, right? I see you, the scientists, the fake scientists. I see you, head scientists on the Magi Arches, misrepresenting evolution. You can get up here and get it too in a minute. We can talk about them humans, Homo neanderthalis, Homo ergaster, Homo erectus, Australopithecus africanus. We can talk about all that. I'm getting that homework for y'all. But back to my point. Once again, he misread the source. Y'all will see this source again, because when I show the interview that Jabari is mischaracterized, you're going to see my point I'm making. Of course, that ain't going to be around right now because he know to get out the way. All right, here we go.
Let's keep going. In his tomb autobiography, a soldier called Amos, son of Abana, records his deeds during the siege of Avaris under the Theban king Amos. After the defeat of Avaris, the soldier describes that there was soon another skirmish to the south of Avaris, this time in Kemet. Hold on. So is Avaris not in the Delta? Does Avaris not have fertile Nile silt?
Yes, it does.
Listen to what you just did it yourself. Again, now listen to what she says.
I can tell you what to say before you read it.
Listen to what she says. Again, a marked contrast is made between the town of Avaris, located in the eastern Delta, and Kemet. This is an important distinction, since if the most accurate translation of Kemet is literally the black land, and the term actually refers to fertile agricultural land, then the Delta and the city of Avaris should still be included.
Absolutely. Keep reading.
See? You keep see, reading. Y'all?
Smash, keep reading. Smash, keep reading. Smash, keep reading. Smash.
You to keep reading when you did not even continue to read.
I did. I can tell you what all to say. I read the whole thing. Smash, keep reading. Smash. I did.
You can keep reading.
I did.
You can go right ahead. You got the book.
Yeah, you Smash.
You got the book.
Oh, you took it all.
Hey, that just proved that she was writing that article to show that Kemet, the black land, ain't just the Nile silk.
Okay, so can I explain that? And so now we know, based off we just read, it's obvious that she didn't write that to prove that Kemet, the black land, was not just the black daggone silk. The reason she wrote the article was to prove that Kemet could move back and forth. It could either mean the whole of Egypt or just the areas of the floodplain, which is the black soil. There we go. There you have it. And I gotta argue with these guys. And Jabari, he ain't saying nothing. He busy looking for that clip. Sekou is dumb as a doorknob, as normal. Don't know what the hell he talking about, right? Zoo 22, he just at this point, he ain't even playing fair. He just on their side. All right. Neil is the only one chilling. So that on their side too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 against 1. Feed 5, 4, thumb. Now it gets interesting. Now we get to deal with Jabari's part. Everybody that talk crazy and reckless, I'm getting y'all one by one. Y'all tripping. Always could have been got you, but I say, let them bask in the fake glory for a minute. Here we go. Let's see what Jabari got to say. Now, y'all heard my stance on what the indigenous people was and how a population is not stuck and stagnant, because that ain't a population, that's a statue. Y'all got to understand what population genetics is. Y'all got to understand that populations are very, very fluid. Human beings are biological organisms, and they're very fluid, adapted to their environment. As environments change, as water sources change, as food sources change, human beings adapt to their environment. Since environments are stagnant, then humans are not stagnant. Here we go. Yeah, we cooking with hot grease. I've read the whole chapter. Can I explain that?
Sa.neter.
Hold on, say cool.
Ankh has come to disrupt the show.
Say cool.
No, wait, let me speak quickly.
I want to finish the source, brother.
Show, Ankh, you can comment.
Can I finish? Hey, sa.neter, can I finish the source you just read? Yes or no?
I just want to make a comment.
Go ahead, make your comment. Let me finish the source that he just tried to scam us with. Y'all wild for that.
Yeah.
Go ahead, say cool.
You came here tonight to just raise all these questions on the word Kemet, and we were in this show discussing most of the things that Professor Cooney debunked in front of you guys, and then you refused to see it.
Appreciate you, man.
You asked Professor Cooney very clearly whether we should call the ancient Egyptian black or we should just call them Africans. And she clearly said both. She said she would prefer to call them Africans, but that doesn't mean they are not black. They are definitely black. And she continued to say, now you are saying the people in the Nile Valley today are closer to the ancient population. But in that same interview, the doctor tells you the people in the South today will be called black, different from those in Cairo and other areas. So when you say the population there now is closer to the ancient population, are you referring to the people in the South, in Aswan, that she referred to as black today, the Nubians there, or you are referring to those in Cairo? Because she made a distinction.
Okay, he's incoherent. So we're not even going to trip out. Let me move forward on this. Let's get you to Jabari. He messing it up too. Everybody playing and messing it up. I think they do it on purpose. Right? I ain't expecting everybody to get it. Let me see. Stop reading.
For the record, he said that
the consent to be out of
just arguing. The source clearly shows
y'all wild out.
Y'all wild out.
Hey, yo, man.
The conversation never was on whether they was calling the black soil Kemet. It was saying would they also include the Delta black soil with that.
My God, you have no comprehension.
It never was what he said.
That the black soil
why is you talking in the middle of me talking, though, yo?
I feel like
why is you talking in the middle of me talking, though, yo? Why are you talking in the middle of me talking, though, dog?
Out of here right now, because we just being disruptive.
Why you let that nigga do that, yo?
Now he calling names and stuff.
You let that man going like that.
I don't come on no shows that got his name on it.
I didn't come on this show because you on here, nigga. Sa.neter called me to get on here.
Just have some respect.
Oh, so you mad because you can't read, yo?
Back when you
mad because you misread that, yo?
Everybody know you wrong as fucking.
Yo, you mad because you misread that, yo?
How is that support what you said?
You mad because you misread that, yo?
I'm even disappointed. I thought Ankh has something else to show. It was very disappointing.
So see, there you have it. Like I said, he misread the damn source, and they argue me whether I misread the damn source or not. Once again, the source was trying to explain the demarcation of Kemet. Should Kemet be applied to the whole of Egypt, which includes the desert areas, or should it just be the black soil area? The source wasn't talking about whether it should be the black soil or not. And none of these nitwits could actually understand that. I'm not expecting people to get that. Intelligent people sure as hell will. Let me keep going. Now we're starting to get real interesting. Now we're on Jabari.
when you show.
I want y'all to be disappointed. Hey, Z, you smarter than this, Z. Don't do that, Z.
I am. That's why I'm telling you. You really supporting this side.
Hey, Z, what was that talking about, Z?
It's talking about the location of Kemet, bro. Don't try to play me, man.
Okay. See how Zoo told the truth? Zoo said it's talking about the location of Kemet. See? But they all let that slide, right? He said it right. They was talking about the location of Kemet. So Zoo got it. Don't play with me. It's talking about the location. Okay, so why stand up, bro, and say, Smash, you said that wrong. You're wrong. Now, okay, here we go. Man, y'all crazy. Y'all, I'm not even gonna look at the chat because the chat don't make no sense, bro. Y'all tripping. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, so Smash said it was saying it was.
Yeah,
it wasn't talking about.
Can I share my screen real quick?
You better know that. You better know that, Zoo. You better play that game, Zoo. I see you.
Share your screen.
Do nothing, Zoo.
I don't know why Ankh is just arguing. The source clearly shows
y'all wild out.
different
Y'all
boundaries.
Hey, yo, man. Yo, yeah, I agree. You got to throw in the towel at this point.
Yeah, man. Ankh needs to just go and rest. He's not showing anything.
Can we show the question that was asked to Dr. Karakuni?
Yes, let's do that first. Hold up, Zoo, because this is important. I'm gonna run. Come on, Jabari. Where's it at?
Yeah, you gotta. You want me to put it up? Okay, hold on one sec. Here's the question.
Unc said he ain't say that, so let's see.
I didn't say what. What was it I didn't say?
And one of the controversies about that's going on in the community for the past 3 years. I've lost many friends over this conversation, and my brother here is beefing with some of his best friends. The whole thing about who were the ancient Egyptians? Were they black? Should we call them black like we call black today? As a matter of fact, you know what? Let me take a step back. I'm gonna allow my brother Ankh to answer this question.
Now, first, let's pause. Did you hear Garfield framing the question?
Yep.
Were they black? And were they black according to our definition today? That's what we're arguing about. They've tried to muddy this up. They've tried to make it sound like we're talking about all kinds of other things. The argument is whether the ancient Kemetic people were black. And are we using today's definition? That's the argument. Now listen to Ankh. Ankh's going to go on for a while, but he's not going to disagree with Garfield's question. So right now, Garfield has to make a decision. Ankh has to make a decision. Does he throw Garfield under the bus?
I'm confused.
Does he throw Chief X under the bus?
What's your point?
Because they're very clear about what they're asking. Let's listen to
so hold on. I want to say this before you play it. I'm saying that the ancient Egyptians are not black people. They are indigenous Africans with their own names and their own agency to name themselves. That's what I'm saying. And I've said that from the beginning. So I don't know what you're talking about right now. You don't Ankh me. I know what I'm saying.
So let me ask you very clearly.
Yeah, ask me.
Let me ask you very clearly, because you're saying they're not black people.
Why not, though, Jabari? That might help.
So what I'm asking you, I want you to crystallize your argument for the audience and for me.
Why not, Jabari? Why am I saying they're not black, Jabari? Because prior to colonialism, indigenous people didn't call themselves black people in the Nile Valley. They had their own names. The people of Kemet. Different tribes, different clans. West Africa, they had different names, different tribes, different clans. They had their own names. Before the 1700s, there was no people called white people. White people made up the name white people for white people and black people. And guess what? They put the white people on top and the black people on the bottom. They created a racial hierarchy, ladies and gentlemen. That's why the term is wild. That's a white person understanding of the world, and they put themselves at top. I don't know why y'all can't get that. It's called racialization, when you take a person's indigenous name and change it to a color reference and put value judgment on a color reference. What was the value judgment? That the angels are white and the devil is black. Angel food cake is white and the devil cake is black. Black is dirty and filthy and ugly and evil. White is pure and godly. Now y'all starting to get it? Now, later on, African Americans would change the value judgment. That's why I say Black African power. In the 60s, when we start to get a command of who we was based off of colonialism, slavery, Jim Crow, and all that, then we start to fight back and say, nah, we ain't going for the racialization. We're going to flip it and say Black is now beautiful and Black is powerful. The ancient Egyptians was never in that situation to even make that type of determination because they was in charge of their world and their worldview. Now, why don't Jabari play the clip? Watch this. Here we go. Absolutely.
Okay. So what I'm asking is, are you saying that if we took someone from ancient Kemet and brought them here today and looked at them, would we say that person is Black? Or will we say that person is not Black?
I'm saying when I go to Ethiopian restaurants and I'm asking you a question, right? I do not put the term Black on them because that's an African-American thing. I ask them, what are you? They'll say I'm Ethiopian or Eritrean. That's what they tell me when I sit amongst my friends that are Eritrean and Ethiopian. Now, I want to get you the clip. Now, he never plays the damn clip. Let me move up here. He ain't going to play it. We're going to get off into another part. We're going to get the arguing over whether the Ethiopians is crazy, right? And I think he did this on purpose so that we couldn't get into the damn clip. But let me just let y'all hear the rest of it. We got the arguing over whether Ethiopians call themselves Black. Craziest thing with African Americans. They always want to tell somebody what they should call their damn self. But what he won't do is, and for all that trashy talk, I'm going to get the clip. He don't play the clip. I'm going to play the clip.
You say
only Americans say they're Black.
Black?
That's a racialized term, Jabari. You're smart enough to know.
Are you saying that the Ethiopians don't call themselves Black?
I'm saying that. Wow. I'm saying right. They don't.
They don't call themselves Ethiopian either. That's Greek.
Can I ask you a question, Ankh?
Yeah,
have you ever heard Ethiopian?
I grew up with some Ethiopian.
Wait a minute. Wait. Have you heard the Ethiopian national anthem?
No, I haven't. Have you?
Do you want to retract your statement before I kill you with this?
I'm saying.
Wait. Don't stutter.
People
do you
live,
want
I'm
to retract your statement?
No, I do not.
Okay.
No, I do not.
So you are gonna live. You're gonna walk up that hill and die
on that hill.
You're saying. Wait a minute. You're saying that the Ethiopians don't call themselves Black. Now, do I have to show you the pictures of me taking?
Great. Can I make this point? I'm saying that outside of the influence of colonialism, the Ethiopians did not call themselves Black.
Look at how he's now changing the goalpost.
The argument is semantics. Wow.
Our conversation has always been about ancient Egypt and ancient times. It never was a modern time.
Wait. You just said that the Ethiopians don't call themselves Black.
Outside of the influence of colonialism.
Now, what do you mean outside of the influence of it? You didn't say that before. Now you're saying that.
I've always said that. You just don't watch my channel like I don't watch.
That's cool.
I've always said that.
We got a cake bake especially for that.
Hey, I don't respect you, because you know that's been my
I don't care what you respect, my dude.
I know you don't.
Even the very word Ethiopian signify is post-colonial. So what are you saying?
Let me turn up in here, bro.
You can turn up, nigga.
Whoa.
Turn up with you.
Come on, y'all. Don't do that. Don't do
turn up in here. Zoo know the conversation. We've had the conversation.
Let's have a very clear.
No, I'm saying Zoo know I've always said what I've said to you. Right?
You ain't never told me you don't respect me online, though.
I didn't say that. I said I don't respect the fact that you won't tell Jabari that me and you've had this conversation, and that's my position, dog.
Wait a minute.
And I said for you not standing up for that, I don't respect that.
Let's not even go into that. I want to hold him where he is.
Right, hold me where.
Why y'all let him slide? Stop it.
Hostile escape. He's trying.
Are you saying? Wait a minute. Are you saying that the Ethiopian?
First of all, he distracting y'all. He's supposed to be playing a damn clip. He go down a wild ass line of questions about the Ethiopians. Everybody named mother know that prior to colonialism, the damn Ethiopians wasn't calling themselves none of that. Come on, man. This is an easy lesson in history. He's supposed to be a professor. Why is he? He know. He'll come on here later and say, yeah. Just play the clip, Jabari. He done took the clip down. Why ain't he playing the clip? Why didn't Smash continue reading both of those sources? Why ain't Jabari play the clip? Because the same way he didn't finish reading them sources, Smash didn't, it's the same reason Jabari didn't, because they was misrepresenting it. That's why. What are we talking about here?
Ethiopians don't call themselves black.
I'm gonna get even technical for you. I'm sure that you can find Ethiopian people now that will acquiesce to that title, and then you also find Ethiopians that don't agree with that title. And then I'm gonna make this point that outside of the quote unquote colonialism, right? They didn't refer to themselves as that, nor did the Egyptians do that. That's exactly what I'm saying. You can always find somebody to call themselves black. It's an arbitrary term. It's not. It doesn't tie you to land. Nothing. That's why we have a wild problem with the people called quote unquote Native Americans, the elbows, because it's based off the skin color.
Wait, you're changing what you said at
I'm
first.
not.
You are.
All right, hey, press pause. Press pause. All right. I gotta be honest here. Man.
You ain't gonna be honest, because now I'm gonna play that clip.
No, I gotta be honest. Be cool. You don't even know what I'm gonna say.
All right, go ahead.
I'm gonna say that you are 100% correct. They do not call themselves black in Ethiopia. And not only in Ethiopia, but in Africa itself. They do not call themselves black. How do I know? This week, y'all, let me let y'all know what I got coming up for y'all. I can start showing it, but I'm not. Let me let y'all know what I got coming up. This week, I even called Brother La when I was in the street today, earlier. And Sister Freedom and all of them know. I went out there, I said, you know what? I'm going to go out and interview all Africans. So that's what I did. I went out, I interviewed a lot of Africans, and I asked them so many questions. I got a lot of questions written down here. I got them all in my phone. I was writing them. I asked them, what part of the continent are you from? They will tell me where they from. And then I asked them, do y'all go by the name of African? Do they call you Africans where you at? And they simply said, why would we call ourselves by the continent? That's where we're from, Africa. Correct. I said, exactly. They only call you Africans over here because that's what the Europeans started. And so we fed into that and called them African. That's a continent. They do not call themselves African. And then I asked them, do you call yourselves black? Now, one African did say, yeah, we do call ourselves black. But I know they don't. You know what I'm saying? Because it was only one that said that. But I've interviewed a few of them. Y'all gonna see when I put this joint together. It's bad, man. I might throw it up on my Patreon. I'm gonna give y'all a little bit. I'm gonna give y'all a little bit of a promotion, and y'all gonna see the rest on the Patreon. Those who are subscribed to the Patreon, y'all will get that joint. I'm waiting to get a good 2 hours of footage. Right now, I only got about 55 minutes of it because I went out today to Juma. And you know, you go to Juma, that's where they all at. Yes, and so I went over there and I started asking them a lot of good questions about Africa, bro. So
yeah, it was called African. That was named after the ancient Berber tribe.
I even asked them.
Romans did that.
I even asked a lot of them, what was your ancestors going by before Islam invaded? And they was telling me some crazy stuff, like their ancestors was worshiping wood, and all kind of crazy stuff, man.
Yeah.
Well, what was
not crazy? No, it's not actually crazy. It's the Islam that make you think it's crazy. It's the Christianity that make you think.
Right.
So they basically saying that we were suffering from an inferiority complex.
Right, because that's what it made them believe the religion. Right.
Prior to that, it was a true religion. Prior to only is giving our true name, black people, we want nothing. That's all I'm trying to say, bro. I accept black because I'm an African American. We have made a choice. We say we don't want to be called niggas, we don't want to be called Negroes, and we don't want to be called colored. We accepted black and African American. We voted on that. So now we took our power back. Power is naming yourself. We chose the name black, but that's for African Americans, bro. Black African power, black power. That sa.neter know he was in the movement.
Yeah.
That's not the same as the conversation.
It's not the same.
Mystic when you say the Egyptians called themselves that. By the way,
Yeah, they didn't call themselves black, y'all. That's. I gotta be honest, and y'all gonna see when my video come out. Y'all gonna see a lot of Africans I'm interviewing. Oh, here's the good part. I got a few of them that was saying that they impregnated their wives over here in America. That they got babies that were born here. So I asked them, do you consider them African Americans or Africans? Some of them said, oh, no, they Africans. But other ones were saying, oh, well, they got the American citizenship. They're African American.
There you go.
Because they want to put that out there. They don't want to get that ice on them or nothing like that. But they said, nah, we African Americans over here, my children.
Hey, son, that I think.
Hold up. Oh. The most important thing he said to me, one of them, he said, but they go to school over here and the school messes them up. He was doing this. He said the school system miseducate our young people. Oh, yeah. I was like, damn.
Hey, hell no.
Word, man.
Why don't they go to school in Africa then? That's
right. Right. But yeah, y'all gonna love it. They do not call themselves Africans on the continent. Brother Larry was right. And Ankh is right on this one.
Yeah, Brother Larry was right 15 years ago.
Brother Larry was right. Brother Larry was right.
We hear it different. We not hearing what I'm saying. We think that's taken away from their indigenousness. Come on, let's go. Let's finish this out.
All right.
I'm gonna let them on the panel so I can just finish them off. Yeah. I don't like to read the tab too much, but Mathis Davis TV. He says so. Ankh calls himself black based on colonial influence, but he discredits Ethiopians who call themselves black. Ankh is confused. I don't discredit Ethiopians who call themselves that. I don't have a problem with that. I'm simply saying it's done based off colonialism. The reason I'm black and I'm proud, that's based off of colonialism and having to make who I am beautiful again based off of slavery. I'm not confused. You confused. Get
and I'm gonna tell you, somebody said, need Jabari comment on that, sir. Jabari, Jabari is the Floyd Mayweather, but Jabari is wrong on that. When Jabari said they do call themselves African on the continent, no, that's like when you go there and you say to them, oh, are you African? Of course they're gonna say, yeah, I'm African, but you gotta ask them the question, do y'all call yourselves African? And then you're gonna hear him say, nah, we don't call ourselves. We are the Mandinkas. We are the Wolofs. That's what they say. No, we don't call ourselves that. We're the Mandinkas. We're the Malis. We're the Wolofs. That's what they say. And you're gonna hear him and a few of them tell you that when I show the video.
Yeah,
go ahead, brother.
All right, here we go. All right, here we go. Jabari ain't gonna show that video though. You was here. You see how he took the video down, right? You was here when he played a piece of it, right? So
yeah.
All right, let me finish.
Ethiopians at the restaurants I go to don't call themselves black.
Right, and I'm saying they don't. At the restaurants I go to, they don't. I've said that.
Jabari asked a follow-up question. Do you say Ethiopia don't call themselves black?
And I said that of course you're going to find Ethiopians that will use that term, specifically in America, right? Yeah. And then you'll find Ethiopians that don't use that term. And then I made the point that outside of the influence of colonialism, they never use that term to call themselves that. That's
what do you mean outside? I've been saying this for 3 years. What do you mean when you say outside?
What do you mean outside colonialism?
Hey, yo, one more point.
White people came.
One more point. It just came to my mind. That's like you somewhere outside of Brooklyn. You in France. And somebody come to you and say, yo, you Brooklyn? They're going to say, yeah, I'm Brooklyn all day. You know what I'm saying? That type of language. But do you know you're not from the land? How you going to call yourself a landmass? Oh, you Harlem? Yeah, I'm from Harlem. Yeah, I'm Harlem all day. I'm not going to say, yeah, I'm a New Yorker. Yeah, I'm Harlem.
Yeah, you ain't going to say that.
You know what I'm saying? So you don't call yourself the place where you're from or where you're at. You say, yeah, I'm from there. It's the same way when you're in Africa, they say, oh, you're African? Yeah, I'm African. I'm African. Of course, they're going to tell you that. You see?
Yeah, and if you don't know where you came from, like we know the continent. That's why we say we African Americans, though.
Right.
But that's
Right.
part of the course for us. But an
Right.
indigenous African, right? A Ghanaian, okay, he know where he from. He don't got to argue that. And so even Ethiopia, the Greeks came up with that, right? Burnt black faces, yo, because that's what they were seeing. It's always an outsider naming us.
There you go. That's what it is.
Because they ain't never seen people that color before in their world, for the most part. Anyway, here we go.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Ethiopia, they wasn't calling themselves black.
You know what you're doing?
White people came into Ethiopia, they wasn't calling themselves black. That's what I'm saying. Come on, Jabari.
You're continuing to shift the goalpost. Remember what my question was to you.
Oh my God.
If we brought an ancient Kemetic person here today,
right,
would you say that person is black?
The $1 million question. No shit, Sherlock. If you brought them into America, which can't get away from color racism, the same they sold, if anybody got brown skin, they're going to call them black. No shit. Bring them into this westernized world, they become black. You make my point again. Damn. But going to their world in ancient times, they probably shoot you with a bow and arrow talking that craziness. What? Who? What? You tripping. Bring them into that world. So why we got to bring them into our world for them to be black if they black? See? Right. They ain't black. They indigenous to the continent. They're indigenous to their area. They had their own names. We can look up what they called themselves. Let the ancestors speak. Here we go.
Yes or no?
And I'm saying no.
Okay. Okay.
You just asked a different question, Jabari.
So finally, we've got a clear.
Right.
So wait a minute.
Let me ask you a Nubian question. The Nubians aren't black neither. People in West Africa aren't.
Wait. Say that again. What are you saying?
Nubians aren't black people. West Africans aren't black people neither. The African American are the black people. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that. That's what I'm saying.
Can I ask you a question? Why does Ghana then have a black star in the middle of its flag?
I don't know why. Maybe it's because of the influence of colonialism, brother. But prior to white people coming in, they wasn't calling themselves that. That's what I'm saying.
Now, wait. I want you to hear this carefully. Yeah. What you're doing is you are playing fast and loose with the goalposts.
No, I'm not. No. I ain't playing fast and loose. I'm going to play this damn video real serious right here. Here we go. Now, let's move on to this video right here. Now, I hope y'all remember because I ain't going back. He said all that about what I said. Then they cracking jokes. Oh, when that white lady, Sekou said, when that white lady, you didn't tell her none of that. You didn't say that. Then Jabari act like my position was like Chief X. Never been. Let's hear what the man didn't play. So Jabari talked all that trash, disappeared to get a clip, just to play it and stop in my part. Smash, mischaracterize 2 damn sources, probably gonna make a show act like he wasn't really saying, because that's what they do now. They all change their position. Now nobody was trying to say that. Whatever. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
You're well admired in this community. Everybody likes you. There's no one that does not say, hey, I don't like Dr. Cairo. Everybody likes you, but they might like you for the wrong, or some for the right reason, and in my opinion, some for the wrong reason. But at the end of the day, they all like you.
Well, we'll get into it. We'll get into it and see if they.
Sa.neter, I'm gonna show you how the human mind work, yo. Remember, Jabari charged you up to watch the clip show. He had already hit you with the magic. He said that woman said they was black. Did he? Wasn't that like the argument? Y'all was cheering and shit. I told you, Uncle. He said that. Remember that? You muted, Saw. Your mic.
Yeah, I remember that.
Now watch. Is a trick in front of your eyes. Why she ain't gonna say that? Because I'm gonna make her choose. I'm gonna say you gotta choose. I don't play with the scholars. See, when they're around me, I say what I've been saying. I don't change it up, I don't switch it up. If I'm wrong, then I'm gonna accept correction. Watch this. Here you go. Now remember what you thought she said. Say cool, all of them. Here you go.
they like me for the right or wrong.
Yes, this month I have a few scholars coming in. I got Dr. Manfred Vitak, I got Dr. Jonathan Shorsh, I got Dr. Richard Carrier, I got a whole Dr. Bruce Haynes, I got a bunch of different scholars. I even have a Greek specialist breaking down the words melanchros, black, and all that stuff in ancient Greek, trying to give us a better understanding in the community.
So interesting.
So for February, we're doing a lot. And one of the controversies about that's going on in the community for the past 3 years, I've lost many friends over this conversation. And my brother here is beefing with some of his best friends. The whole thing about who were the ancient Egyptians? Were they black? Should we call them black like we call black today? As a matter of fact, you know what? Let me take a step back. I'm going to allow my brother Ankh to answer this question because he specializes in this area.
No, sa.neter, what the hell you think I'm about to say? Remember all that shit? Excuse me. Remember all that trash Jabari was saying and acting like I wasn't? I say, yo, you don't know my conversation, bro. So you about to hear my conversation with a scholar, with an Egyptologist that also practices science. You about to hear me tell her the same thing I was trying to tell Jabari and them. They was acting like I'm saying what Chief X is saying. Y'all heard it loud and clear. Here we go. Now it's on and popping. You got to put it back up, Saul. You don't got it up. Here you go. Now remember what you thought she said, sa.neter. Here you go.
Better than I do. But my brother, how would you answer this question that's going on in the community right now?
Well, first of all, I specialize in deferring to the experts. That's really my specialty. Let's get that straight. Yeah, I'm just a guy that picked up some books and started to understand academia. But for me, once I realized after the human genome was mapped out, I think 2003, and I started to recognize the social constructs, how race is a social construct, I started looking at things a little bit differently. And skin color is not a good indicator of ethnicity. I learned that too. And so when I looked at the Nile Valley, and my conversation was they actually African? It never was they black? So now when I see like the Boston Museum and the Brooklyn Museum, I finally see it. They say, well, they're indigenous Africans. So what do you say that is it better to classify them as indigenous Africans, right? We know they, you got Nubia, Levant, all those areas, right? Or is it better to call them black? I personally feel like my argument is that they are indigenous Africans, ranges in skin color, has nothing to do with being mixed, because Homo sapiens sapien is the mix. So for you, in this conversation, you the tiebreaker. I want you to know that the pressure is on.
Don't do that to Dr. Kushi.
Yeah, I gotta put it on. I gotta do it.
Hold on, sorry. Is you listening or you in the chat with the fingers? Did you hear what I just asked?
I'm listening, brother.
Wouldn't know you in the chat talking crazy. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. You ain't hear what I asked that lady, did you?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. But you told me what you asked her. You told me.
No, I told her she the tiebreaker.
Oh, go ahead. Rewind that just a little.
Yeah, just a little. I ain't going to hold on.
In this conversation, you the tiebreaker. I want you to know that the pressure is on.
Don't do that to Dr. Kushi.
Yeah, I gotta put it on. I gotta do it. So what is it? What is better when we dealing with academia? What term is better?
So
Indigenous, African, or black?
I'm going to go with African first of all, but
Okay.
there's some things to set up, and just so if your listeners want to do some extra.
What did that lady say out of her mouth?
She said she's going to go with African.
So what the hell? What's the laughing and joking?
That is better.
So what's the laughing and joking for? Trying to make me a fool a year and a half ago. What's all that about? You heard my whole explanation of why I said that. I said it to that lady right there. I'm not afraid of white people. I'm not afraid of titles. Come on, bro. Remember we went to the Daggone Museum and I talked to the anthropologist?
Oh, you killed them out there. Yeah,
I'm not afraid of that.
I don't know where that video is at, brother.
Oh, man, you playing, man. Check your file. You tripping.
Yeah, it's in my file somewhere. That was awesome.
Bro, come on, bro. My point is, I said you the tiebreaker. So why didn't they say that, bro? Why they come in here playing this game? Now she's going to use the term black and she's going to explain why though, which is going to be crazy. And then I'm going to bring John Henry Clark into it. And then we're going to let the people up so I can beat them half to death. All the pseudos going to dive on. But you hear my point. Why would Jabari not play the clip? Because he knows what she said. She said they're African, so why am I the bad guy? Y'all, she agrees with us. Obviously not. She's agreeing with what I'm saying. It's right there for you to see. She's going to explain how black ain't what they understand it to be. It ain't that. American black is what y'all trying to say. But they not Americans. Here we go, sir.
Research. I have a colleague, African-American colleague, Shamarka Keita, who's written in a volume.
That's that book right there that Smash misrepresented the source. See? So Kara Cooney. All right? Danielle. They don't agree that the word Kemet means black people. They talk about it in the source we read, saw that it's the location is changed, the demarcation. That's the source that Smash misread. That's that book right there. And she explained to me what was in the book. I bought the book. I read the chapter on Kemet. It's an interesting interview. And that's how I knew the Smash was messing it up, because I talked to one of the authors. That's why I knew the hell their stance was. sa.neter. See what I'm saying? Right. There you go.
That I edited called Ancient Egyptian Society. And it's a paperback with Routledge. It's not too expensive, but you can get it at your library too. I think it's like, you know, $30-something. It's not the end of the world, but he's got an article in here and it is called Ancient Egyptian Origins and Identity. And he breaks down he's a medical doctor and a PhD in Egyptology. So that's a bit of a unicorn, right? He lives in Washington, D.C. and he breaks down the idea of what is race, what is ethnicity, what is skin color, what words should we use, and how should this actually work? And I've learned a lot from him about how we should be talking about these things or can talk about these things and what kinds of things are possible to discuss in the ancient world. But let me start out with something that I think is super important. And one reason that when this is discussed in social media, Native Egyptians lose their minds and get really upset. Have you noticed this? That
yes.
Yes. So number one, the word black in Arabic, and everyone in North Africa is speaking Arabic, right? Because of elite replacement and the Arab conquest, if you want to call it that, of the 7th and 8th centuries. They might be speaking French. That's another occupation and another conquest. But North Africa is a place where Arabic is spoken alongside Chadic and Berber and things like that. In Arabic, the word black has not been radically reclaimed by people. It is a negative word. It is a word with stereotypes of servility and slavery attached to it that is a problematic word. Nobody wants to be called black like they do here. So here we're now capitalizing the word black and we're talking about black culture in a very positive way. This is not something that you're going to see in North Africa. You might see it in Central and Southern Africa, but you're not going to see it in North Africa and Arabic, right? Okay. So the way the word is perceived in Arabic is in a hyper negative way, as if you're putting somebody down. It's very problematic. That's problematic in and of itself, but start with that, right? Okay. Now then attach that to the United States understanding of blackness, in which people were brought against their will in large numbers to act as unpaid labor to found the country of the United States of America with their bodies. Yes. And that way of separating populations and saying these people are enslaved and these people own them, or these people are, the population was separated in such a way that we created things, very cruel social systems in the United States, like the one-drop rule.
sa.neter, did she say the one-drop rule was a cruel social system? Yes or no? Yeah, I can't hear you, sa.neter. I gotta make sure. I gotta get you on tape because you was high.
Brother, just play it, brother.
Answer the question. Did you hear the lady say it was a cruel social system?
Yes.
Are you sure you heard that?
Yes, I'm positive.
So I don't got it. So it's cruel. The one-drop rule was cruel, correct? We got that. Based on what she's saying. All right. Okay. Here we go.
with which both of you and everybody listening is very familiar, that you just need one small part of being Black and then you're all Black. All Black, right? Now, you go and talk to an African person, particularly a North African person, and you say, oh, are these people Black? And they'll be like, well, first, we don't like that word. And please don't use that word. This whole Black thing, we don't, it's a very problematic word, post-colonial in particular. And second, they'll be like, what you guys are calling Black is not what we call Black. And because if anyone is mixed race, which I think is a term we might apply to many Black Americans, people of African descent in the United States, or I know Jamaica is also a homeland, and there you might have mixed race people, and then a North African would actually understand that better, but would not apply the word Black to it. So there's so many misfires and miscommunications between a Black American community and a North African community, such that, and I'll add to this, the very problematics of what patriarchy does when it tries to claim a culture. When patriarchy goes in and tries to claim a culture, they say, oh, Egypt is all Black, or Egypt is all this or that. And those patriarchal claims, those more old school 1970s, 1980s Afrocentric claims do not go over well in Egypt, because then Egyptians, and you can go onto social media and see people lose their minds, are like, they're stealing our culture. How dare they steal our culture? This is a theft of culture. And so if one coming from the African-American perspective could understand the charged word Black in Arabic, that would be helpful. And if they could understand that imposing a post-colonial one-drop rule that is created in America is a very American chattel slavery created thing, then I think there would be better communication between both sides. Because my answer, if I'm going to go back in time and get in a time machine and answer your question for you, which is, were the ancient Egyptians Black? I would say, with the definition of Black, and we use the word African, I mean, all ancient Egyptians are African, but Egypt is a confusing place because it is on the crossroads of three worlds: the African world, the Mediterranean world, and the Levantine West Asian world. And Egypt is there for people to cross the Sinai and go from West Asia to North Africa. Egypt is there on the Mediterranean for people to connect from Greece and the Italian peninsula and beyond into Egypt. And Egypt is there in Africa to connect with the rest of that massive, biggest continent that we have on planet Earth. And so there's a lot of mixing. So when people get into Egypt, are they African? Well, they're African now because they're there. But it means that throughout the thousands of years that Egypt has been considered a state, or before you had a state in Egypt, you already had a tremendous amount of mixing between peoples of different ethnic backgrounds, different genetic codes, just a lot of mixing. It's why Egyptian people are so beautiful, because heterogeneity is shown to make a more symmetrical face. But it's just a lot of mixture. And then one could ask the question, did the ancient Egyptian phenotype of skin color, which seems to be something people are very interested in, change through time? And the answer would, of course, be yes, because Egypt is occupied so many times after the Bronze Age by different types of people, starting with the Bronze Age collapse, and you get all these sea peoples coming in from across the Mediterranean, northern Mediterranean, Greek mainland, places like that. You're going to make Egyptian lighter, at least in the north, but probably in the south too. And then you're going to get an invasion from, or an occupation from Ptolemaic peoples in the 3rd and 4th centuries. That is going to make BC, make Egyptian lighter in a sense. And then you're going to get the Arab invasion, and you have that occupation from West Asia. You're just going to bring in another admixture. You're not like changing the population, but you are creating a different
dynamic
mixture within the population. And how you track that, I mean, good luck with genetic tests.
There you have it. Complete thing. And I'm going to finish with this, and I want you to drop that damn link, right? I'm going to finish with one of the greatest teachers I feel is John Henry Clark, right? In 1973, he explains what the one-drop rule is. And then you're going to figure out where the word pseudo came from? Who was the first person who used the word pseudo in the community?
It was Dr. Clark.
Here you go.
Dr. Clark was the first one.
There we go. Here we go. Here we go.
That history has treated as whites, who by his criterion or criteria of who is black and white, according to society's definition, were black.
Oh, no, not according to Rogers' definition now. Understand, and this is the irony of it all, and this is the trap. Black people have never written any definitions of race, any definitions of what a people mean, has been. I mean, they have never said that these kind of traits belong here, because modern racism had its development in the pseudo-scientific development of intellectual Europe after the 15th century. And they began to say that certain kind of people belong to certain kind of race, and they created the concept of race and racism itself. Now, according to the laws that's still on the statute book of the United States and some other parts of the world, one drop of us makes you a whole. Now, this ridiculous law and stipulation and measurement has given black people a lot of white people according to that law. Now, it has given us Beethoven, who was called a dark Moor. Now, he was probably one of the many olive-complected Europeans that you see in the millions throughout Europe. But in the States, in the United States, they say that if you have one drop of blood of a black person, you're a whole black person. Now, by this stupid law, we have a whole lot of white people. There's a whole lot of people that think they're white that belong to us. We might claim all of South America because the Spaniards were mulattoes when they got there, having been mixed with the Moors for nearly 800 years. And they were even before the Moorish conquest. Mediterranean Europe was highly mixed with Africans. Nobody thought anything of it because they were a mixture of power and influence and trade, and they got along fairly well together for hundreds of years before they turned on each other. And I don't say it did the Europeans any harm, because the handsomest people in Europe are the olive-complected people who mix with the Africans.
Go ahead and drop that damn link. He said the one drop rule was stupid and pseudoscientific.
That is 100% correct, especially when he breaks it down. But I'm guilty of saying that stupid stuff back in the days, when I used to be out there on the street.
Yeah, but we want to listen to him. Look.
Right, I used to say that. One drop of black blood, you black. I used to say that stupid stuff. Yeah, but when you sit and listen to Dr. Clark, man, this dude here, he's a genius, man. Yeah. This elder was a genius right here, brother.
So now
we don't have no Dr. Clarks no more,
But why they on me when I'm saying what this nigga said?
Nigga.
My fault. When this great teacher said it. I'm just I take that back.
Right.
Completely back. But why they on my head for saying what he's saying?
I don't know. I guess it's because they don't like you, man. That's probably what it is.
Now watch this. People say, I've been watching you for years. You going against Kemet. I'm actually not. I'm actually bringing us to an understanding of what that indigenous African.
1, 2.
Let me bring this in for a minute. Just for a minute. I'm gonna play a thing. I interviewed Larry 2 weeks ago. I never brought this out, but we got into the black thing. Larry's a bad man. Sometimes you just gotta be patient and listen to him. I interviewed him 2 weeks ago, but I never let it out. Let's get it.
The amendment was written. There were free black people in the United States, right? You and I know that during enslavement, there were free people in the United States. The people who were enslaved were escaping to areas where there were free people in the United States, right? If there were no free black people in the United States, where were the enslaved black people hiding at when they escaped? How were they able to blend in the populations and be undetected? so that it became necessary for them to have a Fugitive Slave Act. If there were no free black people, for them to hide among. You understand? So no, I'm not under the impression that anything that's being said is for real. Okay? Once again, programming is a hell of a thing when you think about it, right? The things that they want us to believe is monolithic, okay? We discuss issues about black people in America as if it's monolithic. We're standing here in Harlem. When we talk about black people, right, we generalize, but we don't know all the black people in America. You understand? Not all the black people in America are under the same conditions or circumstances. The black people in rural America are dealing with issues that the black people in the cities are not dealing with. Black people in the cities are dealing with issues that black people in the suburbs are not dealing with. But we all dealing with a central issue, right? The fact that these things are segmented that way is meant to keep your ass powerless. As long as everything is scattered, there's no centralization of even in conversation, because we always going to be talking about something different. Now, what I was talking about before is the program, because the program is everywhere. That's why we think when we talking about black people, we talking about all of us. That's why they think when they talk about enslavement that it was everybody, because they're programmed too. You understand? They're programmed to think that white people owned black people. We're programmed to think that white people owned black people. You understand? We're programmed to think that white people own black people. Just think about that statement. That simple ass statement, right? And understand that it's a simple statement for a simple mind. That's like me telling you that white people own business in America. And you say, well, white people do own business in America.
Very funny. That's realismism right there. That's the religion that we're a part of, man. Yeah. Become a member of the realismism if y'all want freedom, man. All right, now, everybody, the link is dropped. This is your opportunity to come in and but be respectful, because once Ankh tell me to let y'all go, I gotta let you go. But if you want to have a civilized discussion, he's open for it. We ain't got to call each other no names. No. Let's just deal with some real, some real talk like men, man.
Yeah.
Without any further ado, we got King in the building. King J, what up? Your camera's not on, King J.
Oh, you know King J.
Yeah, King J, your camera not on. King J always have a problem with his stuff. I keep telling him, Sa and Ankh are wrong. Sudanese is just another word for black people.
They named them that, though. They weren't called that. Sud, the Sudan, they called them Sud. That ain't their name. Yo, you tripping. White people named them that. They named
Yo, King, what it is, man?
What's up, what up, huh?
What's up, man?
Yo, we definitely was up late last night on the same subject.
Yeah, getting it in. Yep, great.
Correcting the errors that others have made. You was right on point with everything that you said in the presentation, especially with the Kemet thing with the boundaries, right? The demarcation marks, right? Meaning that Kemet, it wasn't changing the word of Kemet, meaning something different. Right. It was the boundaries of Kemet, right?
Yeah.
Based upon based upon was it a unification period, an intermediate period, what Nasut was in power. You know what I'm saying? The boundaries change. You know, so you definitely.
Yep. Your mic went out.
No, I didn't say nothing. I was just,
All right, hey, family, man, don't be afraid to come in, man. Come on in. The link is at the top. Y'all got so much to say in the chat. Now we got the link open. Y'all scared to come in?
Shaking in their boots.
Challenge the brother.
Yeah, King Element, you're right. It was the Arabs. You're right. It was the Arabs who called them that. Yep. People from Sudan, they named them. Always an outside population, colonial influence, whether it's Arab colonialism or European colonialism, they name people. They actually changed boundaries. There's stories of how they would change boundaries in a whole clan, like a large clan, be all of something in another daggone country when they set up the boundaries, yo. That's colonialism. It separate and divide you and put you under their colonial yoke. Yeah, it's easy to enslave you. It's easy to captivate your mind, yo. Like it is what it is, yo. And I'm not going against black, and I'm not going against ancient African culture. I'm not. There is no definite what? I can't attestation to the soul period. So let me help them out with this. So watch this. Hey, Saul, you live in Harlem, right?
Right.
And you say 125th, right?
Right.
You don't gotta say 125th in Apollo. Because you know, if you talk about 125th, you got the Apollo, then cross the street is gonna be sa.neter. So people from Harlem understand, you know, where they sell stuff at on the sidewalk, and across the street is the Apollo. Am I correct in that? So people,
yes, you're correct.
All right, so people in Kemet don't gotta say the black soil.
No. So
right? They just gotta say the Kim. It's called the term is called glossing, right? Glossing, it was Egyptologists is trying to get as close as possible to what the indigenous people would have said. So for the most part, you're right. The indigenous people wouldn't have said the black soil. You don't have to. They live there. It's a contrast that's been there for 300,000 years. And it's part of their environment. It stimulated they Africanness. It stimulated growth and development and business and world trade because of that daggone black. So it was part of their religion. That's why they paint their deities black, because it had magical principles to it. Come on, bro. It's food, clothing, and shelter. You having dark skin don't give you no food, clothing, and shelter. But that black soil sure as hell do bring you finances and money, right? It made the Roman Empire looked at as the bread basket of the world. Not because of their dark skin. The dark skin will make you special.
Exactly.
It blocks out the UVA rays, but they wouldn't have known that in that time period. Anyway, hit the daggone link. See, they running. You know what I'm saying?
And that's a great point. The alluvial soil was more of an important thing.
He's calling y'all out. I'm calling everybody out, man.
Yeah, that alluvial soil. So let's talk about it. From Khartoum all the way to the Mediterranean, that alluvial soil, that Nile River floodplain, right? That leaves these sediments, right? From Khartoum
all right, hey,
all
King,
the way
stop, King. Yeah. All right, I gotta ask Unc a serious question.
What's up?
And I want Unc to really think about it before he opened his mouth.
I'm gonna think about it.
Because a fish don't get caught until he opened his mouth, Unc.
Yeah.
So what I want to say to you is, Carol, what's her name again? The lady?
Carol Cooney.
Carol Cooney.
Mm-hmm.
Is Carol Cooney a better teacher in Kemet than Infidisi, Jabari, Dr. Reggie, Smash Rockwell? Think about it. Think about it before you say it.
I don't gotta think about it. She's an expert on the subject. Infidisi, Jabari, Smash, all of them, they're non-experts. They on the outside.
Can you read the metal lecture?
Can you let me finish though?
Go ahead.
Right. Infidisi, Smash, Jabari. They're not actually in the
And I want to include Anthony Browder.
Okay, he's in a separate category, bro. Let me make my point here.
Yeah.
Smash, Jabari, Infidisi, right? They're not experts on the subject. They do community work.
Oh.
They educate the people, right? At times they do a good job, but they don't have a measuring system, right? That could actually let them know when they wrong. There's no peer review. So everything they say is right. It's damn near religious. Now, on the other hand, Kara Cooney, she has a peer review system, right? She has a degree in subjects. She has a 4-year degree with another 2 years for master's, another 4 years for doctorate degree. She also participates in the scientific community because she does archaeology. And she reads meta-lecture and all that too. All that is part of how you get your expert degree. Now, you have African Americans that are actually Egyptologists. The mistake is people think because you're smart in one thing, right, then all of a sudden it moves over to another thing. That's not how it works. So I'm saying Kara Cooney might not be nothing in evolution. But in her field of study, she's definitely better than them. She's the department head of UCLA. All right. Now, she explained it, right, like an expert would, and it's to our benefit because she said they was African, and she said they was the
brother, man.
So wait a minute. Last time I checked, Dr. Benjamin was saying they was that. Matter of fact, she's actually holding true to what Diop said. Diop said the thing that makes Diop so renowned is not that he said they was black people. They threw that out because it was at the Cairo Symposium brought to you by UNESCO, and UNESCO made 4 statements on race. They made the first statements in 1950 after the Great War, which was World War II, where Adolf Hitler, right, burned Jewish people in the oven. It was based off of wild racial categories. He called it the Great Nordic Race. Blonde hair and blue eyes. It was a pure racist and killed millions of people based off of that. Okay, so UNESCO would have never allowed racialized terms like black. So what they said was the Egyptians are not black and they're not white. They are indigenous to Africa and they range in skin color. That was the scientific rendering. So Kara Cooney stays closer to the scientific rendering than they do. That's okay though. They don't got to be experts. I'm not saying they got to be experts.
All right.
Let me finish. I'm only saying they gotta be experts when they try to overturn an expert field. So, like, if you think you're a better 3-point shooter than Stephen Curry, then they can get in the NBA. You can't be a better 3-point shooter than Stephen Curry.
All right, hold on.
NBA to shoot threes like that.
Now, here it come.
Yeah, keep going.
Dr. Ben Kara Cooney.
Ah, man.
Oh, that's didn't even be hard for you.
No. Dr. Ben was doing what I'm doing.
Oh,
Dr. Ben used people like her. Hold on, bro. Don't make me pull a book up, bro. Listen what I'm saying. Dr. Ben is a giant in my eyes. He introduced me to Charles Darwin. Okay? Dr. Ben wasn't an expert, bro. I'm not an expert. But at least
Dr. Ben was not an expert.
He wasn't an Egyptologist. That's okay, though. I'm not saying nobody got to be that. But
he wasn't an Egyptologist in the eyes of the white man.
Yeah, let me finish.
But he was an Egyptologist amongst our people in our community.
That's not enough to win.
What the hell are you talking about?
That'll win you one game in the regular season, but you just said, we're trying to win a Super Bowl, bro.
Right now, you comparing them.
You did that.
No, what I'm saying is you comparing their scholarship.
No, you didn't let me finish. You should let me finish.
Power structure, brother.
You should let me finish.
Go ahead, finish.
Not white power structure. Science is a human endeavor. And like I was saying, Dr. Ben used people like Kara Cooney. He was the first person to make me realize, use the scholars. They're going to help.
Tell me where he used Kara Cooney at, brother.
No, he used Harvard.
Right. Yeah. Tell me where he quoted.
No. I said he used experts. You didn't know that?
Yes, I do know that. Yes.
Okay, white experts.
Yes, but you said
I'm just using the white experts.
Kara Cooney was a baby, brother.
No.
Kara Cooney wasn't even born when Dr. Ben was doing this work.
No, you misinterpret what I'm saying.
Oh, all right. Go ahead.
Experts like her, he used them. John Henry, why you think John Henry Clark knew it was pseudoscientific?
All right, now here's the flip.
Did you get my point though?
Here's the flip question.
All the great experts, and I can pull a book up.
Here's the flip question.
What's the flip question?
Can you name one black scholar who was better than Charles Darwin when it came to evolution?
Man,
You already,
that's a wild question, yo.
you know it ain't. The reason I'm asking you is because you named the white scholar going above the black ones, right? So now,
Man,
can you name one black?
I don't like when you do that.
Can you name one black scholar
I don't like
that you would say you would use over Charles Darwin? Because you would use Caraconi over Jabari, Dr. Reggie, Dr. Ben.
Of course. Of course.
Now, give me somebody who you would use over Charles Darwin. Black.
Hey, man, listen, bro. That man is actually the one. He's the foundation of modern.
Oh, come on.
That's a
ain't nobody trumping Darwin's theory, sir.
Ain't nobody. Yeah, man. Now you want to say who expound on it expertly, and I'm gonna name them: John Henry Clark.
Yes.
Chick Anthony Diop's. Dr. Ben, John G. Jackson, Hubert Harrison. That's how I understood. That's how I learned Charles Darwin, yo, was through black people, bro. I didn't even know who the hell Charles Darwin was. Dr. Ben called him Sir Charles Darwin. I could pull the book up and show you the page where he said that. So I learned about him. I'm not doing that with him. He already got beat up, yo. Come on, bro. Bring somebody up here next round. I already got him.
They obviously not coming. I was just waiting to see if they was gonna pop up. They not coming, so
bro, I'm not going.
Hold on.
Yeah,
No. You just said
got a little beat up.
Let's hear the question. Let's see what he got.
You got a question? Ask the question. Bro.
Not really. I was coming to say because you just said I got beat up. I was coming to get my flowers. Now I want you because we're going to do this in front of the people. You're not going to sit here. You're not going to sit here and act like you didn't run from the bell curve. You're not going to sit here and act like the bell curve is pseudo. You keep calling me pseudo, but I'm bringing the bell curve. So is the bell curve pseudo?
No, not what you was talking about. It actually helped enhance evolution. You just didn't know.
That's a lie, and I proved you wrong in a debate on that.
Okay, well, listen, bro. We didn't debate, and they can go back and watch the show. Move on to the next point.
That's what I mean, but you just said I got beat up, but we didn't debate. So no, see, that's what we're not going to do. You're not going to act like I'm a pseudo and act like I'm spewing misinformation. When you lost, bro. But you didn't want to talk about the bell curve. You didn't want to talk about the Cambrian period. And you didn't want to talk about how far humans live.
You forgot I explained the Cambrian period to you. Remember? You forgot?
No, you didn't. You tried to explain it to JJ.
I didn't try to do nothing. I explained it.
You tried to explain it to JJ and you failed.
I didn't fail, yo. You just didn't comprehend or understand the answer, bro. I explained it. What I said was,
bro.
Can I talk? The way I explained it was, this is what they were saying. You can't explain it. Why is it in the Cambrian explosion that goes against Charles Darwin evolution? Because Charles Darwin said the evolution moves slow over time. Remember that? That's what I said, right? And you say, I say, but guess what? Modern synthesis of evolution now recognizes, and here's what I'm going to introduce a black person, that evolution can also be moved at a rapid pace. It's called rapid evolution. And then I gave you the black PhD scientist that proved that, and everybody laughed. Ha, ha, ha. I said it was a black PhD student that was studying lizards. And in studying lizards, right, a cold front came in. So he had to leave. Came back 6 months later, and the damn lizards he was studying had evolved. Then they started to recognize that you can have rapid evolution. And so there's rapid evolution and Charles Darwin's evolution, which is slower, right? So that accounts for the process of all them life forms, you know what I'm saying, coming to be during the Cambrian explosion, because now they know, based off more data, that evolution don't necessarily got to be slow, as Charles Darwin said. It can be faster. You just didn't understand the answer, bro. That's all that was, yo. You keep putting yourself in this situation.
No, I did, and I overcomprehended because you were arguing for Charles Darwin. You even just now said they're separate. They're separate. They are separate things. You were arguing for Darwinism and Charles Darwin's theory. You wasn't arguing for the other one. So go ahead with that. You might get me with that, but you're not going to get me with that. But what you're not going to do is act like you didn't get spanked.
I said, don't come in here smoking weed, talking to me no more.
There we go. And I didn't. And I didn't last time either.
I know when you smoke.
I didn't last time either.
I lie. Anyway, the point I want to make here is that that's not separate. You act like Charles Darwin understood everything about evolution. He didn't. Science is very fluid. They have added on to Charles Darwin theory. It's not my fault you don't understand that. So it's not religion where Jesus Christ died for your sins, right? And he died on the cross, and that's it, right? That's not it no more. Okay, and science never was that. Meaning Charles Darwin come with a theory, and we can add on to it as we get better tools. We can understand more about what evolution is. Now we got more mechanisms in evolution. Okay, we got a better understanding. We know it's not just slow. It can also be rapid evolution. So as scientists get better at what they do, right, get better tools, better microscopes, man, we learn more. There's DNA evidence now to show and prove that. So we're not just saying what you're saying, bro. Simple as that. And everybody was talking crazy in the chat, like indigenous black man, all that foolery, yo. Where you at?
Yeah, right? Mandinka's in the chat. Where he at?
Where they at?
Man, they're scared to hit the link now.
Scared to hit that damn link, ain't they?
Yeah. Mandinka, Mali, indigenous black man, now they running scared.
Yeah, they always do that, bro. I'm popping up. I'm popping up on people. That's what I'm doing. Calling them out. So let me share my screen. Right, when I talked about Homo sapiens being on a now for 300,000 years, I don't just say it, I verify it with a source from the quote-unquote museum, the British Museum. And here you go. All right, this is British Museum right here. Y'all can see it, right? Sudan, Egypt, and Nubia, right? Prehistory to AD 1000, right? The gallery tells the story of Sudan, southern Egypt, Nubia, and the Nile River. Well, here you go right here. We come right here. It says about 300,000 to 2,500 BCE. There's evidence of people that lived in the Middle Nile region at least 300,000 years ago. It said there was an abundance of hard rock to make stone tools, and by 5,000 BCE, it said there were many villages and seasonal camps. All right, this is before Egypt. There's no Egypt during these time periods. So these people was enjoying the fruits of the flowing Nile and plants that would grow naturally out of the decomposed matter that died inside the river and was pushed to the floodplains. All right, like I said, 300,000. You get and that 300,000 number when they start mentioning stone tools right here. These are Stone Age tools. This is your first sign of STEM. So STEM is an African innovation at 300,000 years when they make the first tools. It takes technology. It's called technology, ladies and gentlemen. It's STEM, early science.
All right, Mandinka Mali, you in the building? Remember, just be respectful. Have a little patience. You can question the brother if you want to have a respectful back and forth. Go ahead, brother.
Okay. All right. So Charles Darwin, I know you did kind of mention that. I just kind of wanted to get a little bit more information about that.
How you doing, brother? How you feeling, man?
Oh yeah, how you doing, man? You know, yeah, my brother.
Appreciate you too, bro. Just for the, we have our fun, yo. But I always appreciate.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
All right, y'all ain't got to kiss each other's butt. Just get up in here and get it in, man.
Oh man, I'm trying to.
Y'all ain't got to kiss each other's butt.
So some of the
when y'all not together on this, man. So let's go.
All right. So philosophies. All right. So let me ask you this: some of his philosophies, like far as there were more evolved races than the other, and he had the Caucasians at the top of evolution, as far as evolving more than other races. Did that get debunked by anybody, and by who? I mean, yeah. Who debunked that, or is that still, a prevalent thought in the scientific community?
Now, I would like to read the source in that. Charles Darwin didn't put a hierarchy like that. You can actually go to the Wikipedia article and go to the scientific racism thing and tell you that Charles Darwin didn't actually do that. It's right in the scientific racism article, yo. I can pull it up if you want me to. I can get to it.
Yeah, go ahead, man. Because I maybe I was misinformed when I read that to the audience the last time I was up here a minute. Did just
indigenous black man be trying to trick people, yo. He tripping. That's why he ain't
indigenous black man
right now, brother.
Hey,
you can't find it right now. Oh, go ahead.
Indigenous black man told me that you and Garfield and your whole team learned from him. Y'all been using his his pointers, and y'all don't give him credit, brother.
Well, he need to hit that damn link and prove it. That's what he need to do. Don't talk me to death from the sideline. Yeah, I keep using what information? He's not a scientist. Why would I use anything he has to say? It don't even make no sense. I pay close attention to scientists.
So you're saying that was never proposed in any of the pages of that book, the origins of the what is it? Species.
Origin of species.
What's the name of that
By
book?
way of natural selection and the favorite races.
In favor of races. That part is kind of. Now, what do they mean by in favor of races? Now, go ahead.
Favorite races don't actually mean races. He was talking about the variety of plants and animals, the flora and the animal. That's what he was talking about.
So animals and races.
Flora, yeah, animals. Yeah, and on purpose he didn't mention humans because people bug out when you hear monkeys and different, and they see we animals, everybody just fall apart. So he on purpose he stayed away from that.
Oh, okay. So the species. So like the lion is a race of animals, and then you got. I mean, I never heard of explain animals like that. I just thought it was humans. So I guess you're teaching me something today.
Yeah, he didn't. Yeah, he didn't say nothing about humans in that. He mentioned them one time. He said later on we'll figure out about man, just like that. But the whole book was a treatise on plants and animals. He left humans out on purpose. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna let the next person ask a question.
All right, Deez, you on the call, Deez?
What's up, Saw? What's up, Ankh?
Hey man, what's up with you, brother? Appreciate you, man. I know you in this fight with me, yo. I appreciate you, bro.
I appreciate you, man. You know, I see you as being in a really great spot. You know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to be in a spot just like you, whereas I've let a lot of my biases and slants go. Because looking at the chat, and I want to know what you think about this. I see that a lot of our people are, I don't know the proper term I would use for it. I would say that they are white hurt. You know, we've all heard of church hurt. You know, people who they don't like Christianity now, so they they fight it at every chance that they get. But I see people who are, I would say, they are white hurt, and they think they're fighting white supremacy by saying anything that's opposite of what a white person say. If a white person say that water's wet, some black people gonna say, nah, listen, black man, you have to understand and overstand that water's not wet, black man. The white man lied to us.
1 fish, 2 fish, 3
Over
fish.
water being wet. If something's right and there's evidence to it, why are you fighting it? Let me ask you. Okay. We see a nation that's just about ready to sit at the table with our nation, China. China's just about ready to sit at the table with America.
Better. You know why? But go ahead.
Did they get there because they got their kundalini and spirituality lined up, or did they stop trying to fight, air quote, the white man's science and
get with it?
You know, which route did they take?
Well, let's get to the question by answering this. I want to answer this way first.
Yes.
So, first of all, ancient Kemet reached 3 golden ages. The Arabs reached a damn golden age, but you only reach a golden age because of science and technology. Whereas Africa meets a golden age. Okay, so you only get that not through your damn religion. Religion don't count, right? So a golden age is when you're at the height of science and technology. Africa, they had 3 golden ages in the Nile Valley. West Africa had a golden age, and the Arabs had a golden age. When the Arabs got away from science, they ain't beat the white boy since. Now, China, they have one of the largest traditional Chinese medicines on planet Earth. But right beside it, they got evidence-based medicine. So the question would be, if they got the largest traditional Chinese medicine in the world next to Africa, then why have a science-based thing? And why don't Africa got a science-based industry as serious as the Chinese do? Africa got a large a traditional medicine thing. That's what they use for the most part, right? And they rely on a lot of Europeans and stuff, right? And other nations from India for their medicine and their vaccines and all the stuff you should just make your damn self, right? You don't gotta trust a nation to do something that we're intelligent enough to do. But China, why do they have an evidence-based medicine? Because they recognize the only way to get with the white boy is to match him in science and technology, right? Shaka Zulu was serious African, and he dominated parts of the African continent because of science and technology. He wiped them all out. The British would not even fight Shaka Zulu. Why not? Because his technology was so serious that them one-shot muskets, pow, wasn't enough against Shaka. And so now Africans, I believe, are starting to get it, right? You got the brother from Burkina Faso. He's starting to get it. You got to pick, goddammit. Pick somebody who's heavy in science and technology and take a stance with them, whether it be Russia, China, United States, somebody, right? And they picked Russia. Smart. And he's telling them what I need you to do. The French got to go. You know why the French got to go? Because, yeah, you want to build plants and stuff. You only want to protect the people in your plants and let my people get beat up. Y'all tripping. No, I don't want y'all the Arabs to come in and build no damn mosques. Y'all tripping. What you say, Russia? Oh, y'all want some land rights? You want to build it? You want to? Oh, bet. Got you. That's how we do it. Africa has the youngest population on planet Earth, and they moving in the right direction. To us, it seems like common sense, bro. And I know it's common sense to you, bro, right? I know it's common sense, but I want you to know it's not common sense. Science is not common sense. It's actually counterintuitive. So why these people is taking herbs and sprinkling them and the whole Dr. Savvy thing and go ahead and divine suspect is talking about take some mushrooms on the largest debate this community had against white people. I'm definitely one of the guys who had a full-scale debate against white people, and y'all threw fucking tomatoes at me. Excuse my language. So don't tell me about what I do with white people. I stand in their face and I debate them at the highest level.
No, you don't.
All right, hold on, y'all. Hold on. The next person I want to bring up have a history.
I want to know I don't, guy. I want the FBA.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to bring on. Yeah, go get y'all two hate each other. The guy I'm bringing on right now. Just let me bring it on. Y'all two hate each other, but what I want is a respectful dialogue. If we can get that, we can keep it going. If we can't keep it going, then I'm gonna just have to let you out.
If it's the wrong person,
this is Ankh's show today. So Lex, I would love for you to try to have a intellectual.
I really don't want to. I just want to make some add comments. We don't really got a dialogue.
Somebody else thing.
No, you can't, Lex. If you want to have a question and answer period, that's good.
Yeah, you just
all right.
All right, come on. Let it be respectful.
I ain't forget what you said.
Yeah, I ain't saying that. Yeah, so
you said something about my mother and all and my sister.
I want to respond to.
Bro, I'm saying I can't have an intelligent conversation.
To what Dizali
I cannot have an intelligent conversation with you.
All right, he don't want to speak with you next right now.
Right. Why am I having
because he's scared.
Yeah, nigga, I'm scared of you, nigga. Now
get off your emotion.
All right. Hey, Lex, man, you could come do your own show one day.
Hey, sir, can I just say something about what Dizali said?
Man, get out of here.
He don't want to.
I don't want to hear that crack pot pseudo.
He don't want to talk. Lex. He don't want to talk.
Fake
I just tried to see if I could get y'all to do it, but he don't want it. Let me bring in.
Hold on, son. Let me say this, sa.neter. Can you explain to them that I debated a whole white panel of white people and a whole audience full of, can you let them know that, bro?
Man, you already know, and you killed them too. You killed them.
Come on, bro. What we talking? I don't debate white people.
Divine tried to help out the white people, and you killed them.
On their side. Ain't nobody say them to Divine.
If I haven't seen it, it's on my Patreon page where you see getting busy going up against the white pseudo science crew. That was fire. So let me bring on my brother right here, man. I ain't see him in a minute. Glad he here to hit the panel. Yara is in the building. What up, Yara? You got any questions for Ankh?
Yeah. Peace and blessings to you, sa.neter. Hey,
peace, brother.
HOK. Shout out. Hey, listen, I just want to roll it back a little bit to
on the low. I want to tell y'all this is one of my teachers on the low. When I have questions about the Bible, I call him on the side. He breaks it down to me, and then I come back and beat y'all up with it. so this is one of my teachers here on the low, y'all. I want y'all to know that. So go ahead, brother Yara.
You told me I was your teacher. You tell everybody.
I ain't never say you was my teacher, nigga. So don't do that. Don't you dare do that.
Hey, let me ask Ankh this, man. Peace to you, Ankh.
What's up?
Let's roll back to that Karakuni conversation for a second.
Right back to that. Let's go.
Yeah. So, are you familiar with critical race theory?
Yep. What about it?
Okay. So, do you believe that it's possible, or there's a possibility that that idea existed with writers of in antiquity, in regards to that type of thinking about how Black people or African people were being written about in antiquity? Take it for instance, like Herodotus, right? There are things, and I want to share my screen if I can too. So
I thought you was asking a question. What you doing?
Yeah, I am asking a question.
Why you need to share your screen to ask a question? I'm confused.
Well, because I want to.
Like you're trying to teach a lecture or something.
Well, I mean that's what I
do. Let him go ahead, Unc. Let him rock, man. I'm just scared, man.
I got time for that. Y'all rather chill out with my kids.
It's okay, Unc. You gotta be scared. So in regard to critical race
theory, why we always say that? Just answer the question, bro. Let's get to it. Come on.
No, I am though. But I'm saying though, in regards to critical race theory, because I wanted to show you a quote. There's a professor named Frank Snyder. He's an African American professor, and there are many others who talk about critical race theory being present during the time of antiquity with certain writers or historical writers of the day that actually claim to have visited Africa and what they saw and different things like that, how they did not want to give credit to Black civilizations, right?
I'd like to know the name of that book. Give me that book. Well, yeah.
I actually
just tell me, yo. If you the dude doing the thing, you supposed to know that off the top of your head. What's the name of the book, bro? We good.
Hey, no problem. Matter of fact, as a matter of fact, yeah, I said Herodotus, but as a matter of fact, I'm gonna give you a book to look at, right?
Yeah, put it in the chat right there so I can get it.
I'm gonna give you a book to look at.
So you're referencing when Herodotus goes to Egypt and Africa.
Hold on, King J. Hold on. Let him deal with Unc. Let him deal with Unc.
What's your question though?
Yeah,
I think the question is, I'm saying I wouldn't think that to be impossible because hold on, I'm gonna ask you a question, yo. You asked the question already. Did radical what race theory? You said did it exist in antiquity? And I'm saying it started there and it slowly nurtured and fostered. And by the time we get to the colonial period, it's in full swing. So there's a few statements that the Greek made. It's not overall like that, right? By the time you get to Rome, they would have some slaves. And whenever they was in the position of power and colonialism, right, they would racialize these people. Not all the time, not at all things, but you could see it. So I'm saying is white people, Europe and France and the Portuguese don't just pop up, right? I'm saying it nurtures slowly but surely over time, right? It wasn't an overall theme in the ancient world, not at all. For 350,000 years, people was not putting quote unquote racial terms or making value judgments based off of color. People got good eyes, they can see, right? But that straight up and down racialization came during colonial period, but you can start to see it creep in. I'm familiar with all the works, right?
Okay.
What does that have to do with this conversation? Because hold on, but Africans didn't do it though, and this is the conversation. I want to keep us there. So although you make a good point, we're talking about indigenous African nations calling themselves that. It's always the other way around. The Romans, the Arabs, the Greeks putting that on us, bro. That's all I'm saying. But go ahead.
So yeah, and that's cool. So this is where
is that true though? Not just cool. Am I valid in what I'm saying? I'm saying you're valid. That you can find
at a certain point, you do see the Greeks and Romans doing it at a certain point.
Right. No, I'm asking you, how about the indigenous Africans? Was they coming along with racialized terms? You had that work.
No, I mean, why would they come along with racialized terms when they mostly only dealt with
They don't thank you. They're okay. Yeah. Okay. So you on my side then with this conversation.
Yeah, I agree with you in that aspect. But the problem is that's not what Cairo Cooney is saying.
What is Cairo Cooney saying?
Cairo Cooney is saying that that you see admixture
in here, bro.
Of quote unquote non-African people from the Levant, maybe in Egypt, where you can't really say that they're black in antiquity. That's what she's saying.
I didn't hear her say nothing about no non-black. She didn't use that word. She just said Levant. So you think is that?
What do you think she means when she says that?
Well, I just want you to know, yo, just because people walk across an arbitrary line don't mean they just evolve.
No, I'm asking you, what do you think she means when she says that?
I think she said that it's intersecting of 3 continents, bro.
Okay, so the intersection of 3 continents,
yeah,
is
called the area of confluence, Jabari. Remember that? Remember that in that same video, sa.neter, where he act like he ain't know what confluence mean when he thought it was just water. No, it also can be geological confluence, right? Population confluence and river confluence. But the daggone professor argued me down and made it seem like I was stupid. Yeah, but go ahead.
Yeah, but I'm saying to you is,
hey, what you saying?
What do you think she's saying when she brings up that point?
What point? Because people from Levant, they come in Africa, if nothing else, looking for food and shit.
So this is why she never says that the ancient Africans or ancient Egyptians, I should say, were black.
Now you're reading her mind. She said it. She said it's a racialized term. She said it's a one-drop rule thing. She said over there what mean black to them ain't what it mean. She said all that, bro. Like we not this crazy, is we?
But you are this crazy though, because you're doing exactly what she's doing. Because what you're saying is you can't. But you're saying, hold on.
She's right.
You're saying,
and I love black people.
Okay, I get that. But you're saying that cannot be. You can't. There's no way you can call them black, and they only call them black Kemet because of the dark soil. That's false.
Why? Why, yo?
So, and this is what I'll say to you about that.
I'll share your screen on that.
That's not false, Yara.
It is false, and I want
to. Let Yara go. Hey, Yara, you got a chance.
It is false. So I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what, because it's easy. It's easy to prove.
All right, go ahead.
It's easy to prove from their mouths. But I'm talking about
no. Prove it from their mouths in your mouth. I'm listening.
Share your screen, Yara. Let's go.
Share your screen, master teacher. Go ahead. I can bat you out of there. Go ahead.
Okay.
Share your screen on why they call themselves.
Hey, y'all probably have some information. You got PowerPoints ready for every conversation, man.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
I want to get to my point, right? Because I think
I don't see you sharing that screen. I see you kind of moving away from that screen a little bit.
I ain't moving away from nothing.
You was King Kong on the screen a minute ago.
I'm finna share it.
Hold on. Go ahead. Make sure you bring some scholarly work, yo, with that, yo. Because you know I'm getting them one at a time. I just got the fee 5-4 from the 5 ones and Sunday. I got them now. I'm waiting for Indigenous Black Man that was talking crazy.
I don't know nothing about
it. Leave that sleeping giant alone.
Leave who alone? Not leave him.
Hey, leave that sleeping giant alone. He's asleep right now. Don't make me laugh.
Pan-African Designs. He's the head scientist. He's a pseudoscientist. Talking crazy. What's up? Mm-hmm. What's up?
Let's go,
so let's talk about what I asked you, right?
Oh my God,
you're not gonna talk about Kemet. You gonna do that? All right, go ahead, Mr. Snowden. Go ahead, bro.
Bring it out, Yara.
Can I? Yeah, this is why Cairo Cooney is wrong, right? Okay. So it says defining black in antiquity, right? So Frank Snowden, hush for a second, renowned professor of classics at Howard University, presents a history of blackness in the ancient world through a transdisciplinary examination of Ethiopians. As Snowden demonstrates what we were talking about earlier, became in the Greco-Roman world a catch-all term for black-skinned individuals, in particular those from
600 BC. That's 600 BC.
Can I finish what I'm saying? I don't need the input.
I didn't cut you off, brother. Go ahead.
I'm not talking to you. I heard who said it. So black-skinned individuals, and particularly from those from regions from South Egypt's first cataract, obvious divisions existed among those in the racial category, and Snowden demonstrates the rich and varied nature of these surviving evidences. And he goes on to say in his book, Frank Snowden, Blacks in Antiquity, right? Harvard Press, 1970. And I want to show you another article, right?
Before you go on, could I just say something real quick, Yara? Because what you just showed was that
King J, you can't cut him off. Let him finish the flow.
I know when the Romans in Greece came along. I know what I'm talking about. Be quiet, King J.
You can respond next, King.
Afrocentricity in Kemet by Tristan Samuels. Now, Tristan Samuels is a Jamaican Afroologist born in Toronto, Canada.
What, yo?
African.
What the hell is an Afroologist, yo?
Look it up. He received his honors in BA in major. Hold on, let me go back to it. Right, in history and classical studies from the university, earned MA in Egyptology. Right, from the Middle Eastern civilizations, University of Toronto. Y'all can look him up, Tristan Samuels. Right, he's very qualified to have a conversation. We talk about PhDs and scholars, and who's qualified, who's not qualified. Listen to what he says. Right. He says, Samuel notes it is not common to see Kemet, also known as ancient Egypt, misplaced in the Near East or even more nebulous category of the Mediterranean in scholarly settings. Be it universities, museums, television documentaries, the function of these dubious concepts is to portray Kemet as anything but African. The problematic misconception has been critiqued by African scholars both in the continent and in its diaspora, who have asserted and demonstrated the Africanity of Kemet as early as the 19th century. Now, I want to get to his last part of this, right? And then I'll turn it over. Right? Where he talks about here.
What are you doing, man?
Listen, man. So right here,
let's talk about
where it says Herodotus.
Go back to the other source, bro.
No, it's the same guy.
Go back to the. Did you just flip a page?
Yeah, but it's the same source.
I know, but go back.
Hold on.
I want to talk about that.
No, I'm giving you the book so you can go read it. This is the book where it's come from. So Herodotus and the black body, right? A critical race theory analysis, Journal of Black Studies, volume 46, number 7. Pages 723 to 741, 2015, right? And in here, he talks about, just going forward, he talks about the erasure. Let me read it. It's not much. It says, in this article, Tristan Samuels confirms the existence of blackness in ancient Egypt, right? And reorients our understanding of the origins of anti-blackness in Western thought. And that's what you hear from Cairo Symposium. Whether you want to admit it or not. It says, in examining the writings of Herodotus, Western scholars of the late 20th century actively engaged in the denial of ancient Egypt's blackness by acknowledging the so-called black features of Egyptians' hair, texture, their skin tone. When she kept saying their skin tone didn't matter, just like you kept regurgitating her information, which was false. Describing ancient Greek writing, while also maintaining that the ancient Egyptians could have been anything but black.
Oh man, Elder Yara bringing it out, man.
Hey, sa.neter. I didn't get no bombs, yo. I didn't get no bombs.
This
man, come over here.
one today,
Hey, Yara, we done. Hey, Yara, we done, yo. If you ain't making point by now, bro. Hey, Yara, listen.
Hold on, bro.
Bro, listen. You tricked me. I don't like getting tricked, Yara. You was dishonest, Yara. You was dishonest, bro.
Let me finish.
No, you just
he's reading a good stuff.
He tricked you too. Don't make me do a show on this show. Because when he saw his mouth, I said, yo, I don't feel like going through all that. I don't want to sit through it. No, I'm gonna bring something on Kemet. That's what he said. He ain't brought nothing.
He is bringing something on Kemet.
No, he not. It's of the word Kemet high mean black people. Where that's at?
Listen, bro. Listen, man. Listen, bro. I didn't say Kemet didn't mean black people. I never said
you mean black people, right?
I never said that.
But that's what I asked you for. I didn't ask you to go through all this.
Listen, stop with the flim flam, son.
What's the flim flam, bro? I said you
interrupted me while I'm reading this.
How am I interrupting you? You doing a whole PowerPoint, bro. I ain't even do that.
That's interrupting.
No, you doing a whole. I don't feel like going through this. What did you? Hold on. What? Man, you already agreed that it was a gradual process. You said yeah. So I'm trying to figure out what you're doing now.
Let me finish the article and I'll fall off.
What article? You said I said go back. Let me read out. You wouldn't even go back.
Let me finish it out.
Go back. Man, you got a whole 12 pages. I'm not doing this with you, bro. I'm not doing it, bro. I ain't got time for this. And what I'm supposed to do with that though? Yeah, hey, yeah.
So yeah, right. He don't want to do that.
Hey, Yabba, seriously speaking, bro. Hey, I'm not. Yabba, I heard you. You heard me. I heard Yabba. Seriously, hey, Yabba. Be honest, bro. Hold on, Yabba. Yabba, what am I supposed to do with this? What do you expect me to do with this? Out of nowhere. Hold on, Yabba. What you want me to do with this, bro? I'm not debating you, Yabba. Yabba.
Refer to themselves as black.
I'm not debating you.
All right, hold on, y'all. Elder Yara, you're welcome to come on tomorrow and do a presentation.
Do a whole presentation, yo. And then if you debate somebody and beat them,
I'll be there, and I'm in my first slide. I'm gonna show Ankh in a mini skirt.
You ain't showing me nothing. You showing me your suit. I didn't even know you was pseudo.
All right. Let me get on over here to the brother who didn't speak yet. Stephon Young, what up, man?
Hey, hold on. Hey, yo, I don't appreciate not getting no bombs, yo.
Oh, I didn't get nobody.
You did. You gave this man. Come on here, talk.
Yo,
now what the hell you talking about?
I did not give Elder Yara no bomb.
He need a bomb,
Yo, he got a bomb.
No, I didn't give him a bomb.
You said boom.
Nah, man. Come on, man. Elder Yara did bring something good and he scared you,
Yeah, okay.
Good, man. He scared you, brother.
He scared me so much now I'm a debate. Not so much I'm gonna debate him now. He scared me.
All right, let me bring on the brother right here. Let's see the young guy.
This is banana. Hold on. I would like to say to the listening audience, listen. Don't let somebody with a fully put together PowerPoint come out of nowhere and ambush you with great. Like, what the hell? That doesn't even make no damn sense. How the hell am I supposed to process all that? I know it's on that TV, right? But how that and give him a good, intelligent answer to it? How the hell you got a whole PowerPoint?
No, but
what the world is going on here, man?
You did answer him, but he was kind of disingenuous because you answered everything already.
Right.
What he brought up with Snowden and Herodotus is specifically a 600 BC Greek Roman time period. Cooney is talking about a time period. Hold on, y'all.
Ready for the real pseudo.
Y'all right. Hold on, brother. Y'all already addressed that period when you asked him about. He said those were the beginning stages where you do see some elements of, the racism coming in around that time period. Cooney's talking about 5,000 BC, 3,000 BC.
That's what the hell we talking about.
Yeah,
I heard you, bro. I don't know why you're trying to do that. That's not my point.
Man, but that was my point. The whole show was on that. How you gonna change the point and then come with some sources, Jabba? How you gonna change my point? Because the whole show was based off my point. I don't appreciate you bringing in a person who's talking about a 600 BC period when we was clearly talking about ancient Africa.
Yeah, but Yara was some good points.
Chronology? No, he did not. No, he did not. Chronology is the central here in this conversation. Come on, why are you talking when I'm talking? Why are you talking when I'm talking, bro?
What?
Bro, why are you talking when I'm talking? I gave you damn near 30 minutes to run that flim flam, y'all. Now it's my turn to speak, bro. Sit down and relax. Now,
listen, bro.
I was talking about, man.
Come on, y'all. Right? He did let you rock out. He did let you rock out.
To the point where I was like, what the hell is he talking
about? All right. Go ahead, Unc. Go ahead, Unc.
Chronology is essential in conversations when talking to pseudos. They run you all over the block. Take you to 600 BCE, take you to AD, do all of that. After I answered him, I said, it was a gradual progression from the Greeks to the Romans, and it was full blown during colonial. I said that, but that's a specific time period. He come behind me and give you 600 BC, which is well after Egypt. Egypt is already in the Greek, like it's over with for them like that, meaning they're not in control of their commerce and all that at this point, which is fine. But we talking about an indigenous people that date back to 300,000 years ago. They get their written language around probably 3,500 or 4,000 BCE, according to trading seals, but the dry, and not language, but the written script, right? And there is no evidence of them calling themselves black people. So I don't know what he was doing. He was doing the Martin Bailey when he backs up to a position that he can better defend, because he can't defend them calling themselves black people during the ancient Nile Valley time period, but he can defend himself with Snowden them in 600 BC. I don't know who the hell he's talking to. I'm not the average guy with all this nonsense, bro. I let you do it for a while because you talking to death, and you still, I'm not debating you. Go find somebody.
You know what?
I'm not
because
listening.
You're the biggest pseudo in the Texas community, and you have been for a decade.
I don't even care.
You have been for a decade, and I promise you, when I come on tomorrow, that's what you're gonna do.
I'm not going to do nothing. I'm ignoring you. I'm going to ignore you.
You're gonna do another show.
I'm not doing another show on that food. I'm not even going to watch that.
All right, y'all. Let me bring on the brother. Let me bring on the. All right, let me bring on the brother Stephen Young. What's up, man?
Hey, what's up? What's up? Peace. Hey, peace to the whole panel. Shoot, Austin brought the killers. I was looking for him. Like, man, he got headhunters coming from out the woodworks. But I really kind of want to.
Remember, I hunt them. I'm a pseudo killer.
Let them go.
Yeah, I feel that. Facts though. But I want to touch on the evolution, which could kind of touch on the black Egypt thing too. Which, I mean, it just seemed like a lot of people miss out on the point that evolution ain't about establishing the hierarchy or who's more advanced or who's better or what does this better and what do. It's just a study of how things change and develop over time, and it ain't really to focus on since the T-Rex. Since the T-Rex was so big and carnivores that it can't be the chicken now today because it's just how time developed. It's not studying something being better or becoming an X-Man because you developed so long. It's just about how things change. It's just really studying and looking out for. I don't think nobody really actually considered that when they saying that evolution, we monkeys and we do this and we didn't grow from. It's just a study of how things change over time, man. The best conclusion would be that evolution it's a fact. Right? It's not really too much to argue with. You see it every day. You have children. Every time you reproduce, you add into evolution. Just right there. That's just the simplest form right there. And it just seemed like y'all missing that total fact out the water.
Hey, I got a question after the last person.
No, go ahead. You can ask your question now.
I don't know if the brother he knew. You want to build some more, brother? Get it out. This is
I got plenty more, but I just wanted to put that in there. It just seemed like a lot of people ain't really looked at. I know Ankh would pull up the definition of scientific theory in a heartbeat, but I mean, just look at this definition of evolution. It's not about hierarchy placements. It was used in that manner in scientific racism, which has been recently redacted, and it don't really run like that no more. It runs off the basis of how things change and grow over time. Every time we produce a GMO food, we're using evolution at its basis just to do these things. It's just how things grow. It's not really every time you reproduce a child, you're gonna add to evolution. So once Stefan is gone and Stephanie grows up, then that's when she gonna produce another child that's gonna be something different. And whatever happens after that, it just happens. You can't control evolution anyway. They're just trying to document it and study it.
So you're basically saying that evolution does not occur in an individual; it actually occurs in the population.
More than often, exactly, in the population. Populations in Egypt, it's gone.
Listen, the population in Egypt has transformed over time because that's what populations do.
Exactly.
There is no record of humans, right, that are thoroughly running back into each other. Yeah, I'm saying that's what humans do. That's why we're one species, because we always run back into each other. Simple as that. So isolated populations, like in the Amazon basin and all, they isolated, right? And they've been isolated for a long. But prior to their isolation, they was running to Stone Age populations. So there is no such thing as a pure any. It doesn't even make sense because weather changes. The genes are activated by radiation, bro. And weather change, food change. Some plants stop growing, right? Now you got to eat other things. All this helps, you know what I'm saying, with diversity and change.
Gene adaptation. And what by weather, well, what you eat, by climate, the genes adapt different genomes according to climate.
But what I'm saying is a lot of people try and explain evolution like it's just that one thing, but it's all a compilation of all those things that Ankh just named and the other brother that just spoke just named, on top of economic pressures and it's all a compilation of that to explain how things change. And it's not really about, I just didn't, every time somebody speak on evolution, it just seemed like they all did. When JJ spoke, when what's his name, Cosmic Chris smoked, whatever. Oh man, it just throw me out the water every time.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
Yeah, let me know when I get the question after the brother.
All right, let's go, Mandinka, and then we're gonna have close us out.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn the heat up just a little bit, man.
You ain't turn no heat up on me.
All right,
you got no heat for me.
Okay.
Nobody got no heat for me. Overturn the science.
Right.
The hell you gonna overturn science?
You're the teacher. You're the teacher. Now help me out with this.
Absolutely.
All right, you say these groups of monkey chimps was all together, right? And one of them went left, and one of them went right, and then one of them went all the way over to the east coast of, the west coast of Ghana. And they stayed of Africa, right? They stayed over there. Now the other monkey chimps, they went all the way maybe close to Madagascar, but they didn't cross over, right? So now you're telling me that these two groups evolved into something different? Did it evolve something like different when they split up? That's what you said, because the diet changed over in East Africa, and the diet was different over here in West Africa. But y'all say they split from a common ancestor. So where did the common ancestor go, and how did each monkey chimps change and evolve to something else when they went different directions? I'm just trying to figure that part out.
All right, you mixing too many things up, bro.
Yeah. All right, go ahead. Yeah, I'm a student today, man. I'm a student.
A common ancestor is simply this. Let's say the hand is the actual common ancestor.
Go ahead.
And this finger go that way, this finger go that way, this finger go this way, and this finger goes this way. They all go in different directions. They run into different climatic events, different food sources, different this, different that. You know what I'm saying? Some might run into another quote unquote thing that they can mate with that's very closely related to it. Different things occur over time, bro. By the time they meet back up, say 1 million years later, yo, things have changed. Yo, I'll give you an even easier example. The Isuit people, you call them the Eskimos. They're not actually pale skin. They actually have browner skin. But wait a minute, they actually live on ice. So why is it that they live on ice? Because they're still getting the vitamin D from their food source. The fish gives them enough vitamin D so that their skin is not making an adjustment to allow sun in to get vitamin D. Vitamin D don't come from the sun. It actually is synthesized in the skin. But if you're getting enough vitamin D, right, then you don't have to supplement it with your diet.
So they're still gonna be monkeys, right,
bro? No, so back to the monkey thing. I don't even know what the hell you was talking about.
Let me rephrase it then.
No,
so better educational way of saying it.
The reason we call it.
I want you to teach.
Now let him finish. Let him finish, though.
Okay, all right, go ahead.
We're calling it a common ancestor, yo, is because it starts out as a population. It's not one thing, and the different portion of the population goes in different places. Homo sapien sapien, right? they start out in Africa, right? And they spread out around the world. As they go through different zones and environments over time, they transform and mutate.
And I don't know why they don't understand that, man. Damn, that's
I'm playing devil's advocate for. I'm playing devil's advocate for the audience. Okay, now let me.
Hold on. Let me tell you what you want. You want the common ancestor between humans and chimpanzees.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. What? Okay, okay. Hold on.
Let me just say it.
But you don't know my question if you're gonna answer before I ask.
I'm not finished.
How you want to elaborate on that part? Go ahead.
Yeah, we don't got to speed through this. So the reason we understand that humans, Homo sapiens, and chimpanzees have a common ancestor is because they share 98% DNA.
Go ahead.
Only one reason why two organisms would share 98% DNA, because somewhere in geological time, 7 million years ago, they shared a common ancestor. One went in this direction, one went in this direction. By the time they meet up,
that's the problem.
Be quiet so you can learn, brother.
By the time they meet up 7 million years ago, which you can't even humans can't comprehend 7 million years. One is on the moon, and the other one is in the damn zoo eating bananas.
Right. Now, not one time have Ankh said that we come from the ape or the monkey.
That was Q said that. I got them mixed up.
But hold on. But even when he finished, you still gonna say we don't come from apes. That's not what he said, brother.
Yeah,
and he explained this over and over. But every time somebody talk about evolution, the first thing you say is we don't come from apes, and nobody is saying that, man.
Okay, well, I ain't got turned up yet with the questionnaires. See, it's always gotta be 2 or 1 when it comes. You know, no daddy. You know what I'm talking about. All right, hold up.
Now, let me say something. I don't appreciate y'all getting up here, believing in humans popped up off the dirt some damn way, questioning me. He need to get his daggone belief together.
No, man, let me talk about that.
He worrying about skin color, and he claiming we come from Adam and Eve somewhere in the middle of the garden somewhere. Like, what are we talking about here? I ain't even mess with him on this thing. He don't come up here and mess with me. He will tell you that humans come from the garden of Eden. He ain't gonna say what I'm saying, because then it would discredit his biblical text. His biblical text says somewhere in Asia, not Africa. Right? That's what, if you read the text closely, humans migrated into Africa, which is wrong. He ain't gonna go fix that, bro, with Snowden or somebody. Don't come fix me till you fix your thing. That's where I'm at with it. Get out of here with that.
Yeah,
yeah, man. Dinka, what else you got?
Yeah, you got the
all right, now wait a minute. Now you said 2 because say were they common ancestors when they split, or was they regular ancestors?
No,
you said the common ancestors split.
I don't know what it looked like.
No.
Like 7 million years ago.
No, hold on. Listen what I said. Listen very carefully, because I heard what you said. I wrote it down. You said that then the common ancestors split. So I'm asking you, is it the same ancestors, or there's a common ancestor? Where did the common ancestors split to?
You mean
come on, man. You got your members only jacket on again. I ain't trying to say.
You're looking at it wrong, bro. It's not.
I don't want no smoke with you, bro.
Oh, man, Dinka, man.
Listen, man, come on, yo. Listen, you can follow this. It's not one ancestor, bro. It's actually a population. Remember I said evolution occurs in a population, not one human. You have to reproduce to pass your genes on, just like an example of a virus. That's how, when we was in the pandemic, the Abercron, it was different variations of it because it was evolving. Every time it hit a different environment, which is a human, and one human passed it on to another one that represented another environment and gave it the potential to catch a mutation.
Okay.
So get that? So that's
I got that one.
We start off with COVID, and it evolved, bro. So when I talk about a common ancestor, we're not talking about one nothing. When you talk about coronavirus, you're not talking about one virus. It was a population of viruses. Okay, so we talk about a population of what you're calling the common ancestor, because we don't have it, but we know it was a population, and that population went in different environments, and based off of genes, going to different environments, eating different types of food sources, right? Remember, evolution just works good enough to allow the organism to make it to the age of reproduction, and we call it a valuable offspring. So based off the different environments, you would end up a Homo sapiens sapien or just be a chimpanzee.
That's okay, that's a good answer. You're doing good. You're doing good. Now, hold on, you just chill out. I see you every time. I know when you get ready to jump in because you jump in front of the mic. Hold on. Now, was a different species evolving at the same time, or did they come from one organism and evolve up out of that? Go ahead.
It's called Luca. Luca, the universal common ancestor, the 3 domains of life, bro. That's why we use biology books, yo.
Bring that book out, huh?
Yeah, we got biology books, yo. Everybody should get a basic biology book, bro. Microbiology, man. It's in school, yo. We get it from school, yo. Like college level work here, yo. And it talks about the 3 domains of life.
Go ahead.
Archaea, you know what I'm saying? All right. And let me see if I got it right here.
Take your time.
And eukaryotic. Archaea. Bacteria and eukaryotic. That's the 3 domains of life, yo. And it's called Luca, right? The universal common ancestor of all of us. And based off of going in different environment, this population of microorganisms, yo, come to form different things. It's just that.
There you go. Now you're getting deep, bro.
Yeah, yo, like, come on, bro. Like, I'm just trying to say, yo, like, we're not gonna sit here and overthrow modern science from sa.neter TV. It's the craziest thing ever to think that. And that's what makes a person pseudo. That people would claim to defeat the scientific field of Egyptology, because part of it is scientific, right? Not having any experience in said field, not having no peer work. How do we know you're just not just talking us to death? How do we know you're not Malachi Yochanan? What is the measuring or the barometer that we have to recognize to see if what you're saying is right? We don't know. We're not scientists, but people will talk that talk for years. That's why, right, I do what I do. Let you know, man, don't listen to that, bro. There's fields of study that will help us get our authentic history. Because if we just sit back and listen to y'all, we're going to think we Native Americans. We're going to think we the cowboys and the Indians. We're the first cowboys. We're going to think we all kind of stuff, bro. We the all mags. We going to be everything but who we supposed to be until you put that damn anthropology on it. Right? The study of culture, until we put that evolution on it, the study of biological organisms, right? Until we put that archaeology on, the study of ruins, right? Then that's where the rubber meet the road. So ain't my fault I grabbed the tool before y'all did. Ain't my fault. I was simply doing what Dr. Ben and them did, because Dr. Ben used those same tools. Simple as that.
Right. All right, go ahead, sir.
Read that, brother.
Oh man, I hope I don't stumble over nothing. A common ancestor is an ancestral organism from which multiple lineages of descent have diverged. It represents the most recent in was the dividial from which 2 or more species, all right, or groups are directly descended. This concept is central to understanding the evolutionary relationship and shared ancestry amongst living things.
Do you understand that, Mandinka?
Brother, I'm playing devil's advocate. Let me ask you one more. Yeah, I'm just doing this for the audience, bro. I'm just asking good questions. Now, the Luca, right? So Luca was the common ancestor that a lot of species came up out of, right? So there was Luca.
Everything is universal common ancestor.
Yeah. Okay, so
they ain't say they got it. But go ahead.
So what I'm saying is did everything, like, did it split up? Or did it come like one pack together, or it was all popped up out of
the population? Remember, I always say evolution it doesn't occur in one. It's always a group, yo.
All right, get into that.
Well, that's what I'm trying to tell you. People think evolution occurs in one person where he just evolved, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
It's called development. When your baby grow inside the mother, it's called fetal development, man. As you grow up, it's called development, bro. As you get bigger, muscles get strong. It's called development, not evolution. That's a marked difference. Evolution occurs when you have sex with your woman and you pass that genetic material from you to her. Now, when that genetic material passing you to her, there's a chance of recombination. Now, why is it recombination? Meaning you get base pairs from your mother and your father, right? How many chromosomes do we have? Do you know?
26 is me.
Huh? I'm asking you.
26? Which one is it? Hey, 24, 20. I can say I don't know. I heard the answer before, it just slipped my mind, bro.
Oh man.
Dang.
Hey, we gonna look it up, yo. You funny, yo. Man, yo.
So you finally kind of went into this is what we've been waiting on. You finally, and it was the definition of sa.neter brought out.
We got 46 chromosomes. We got 46 chromosomes, right? And chimpanzees got 48, yo. We got 40. Come on, yo. We got
why they got more?
Got 46 chromosomes. So that's 23 from your mother and 23 from your father, bro. All right. Now it's called gene 2 fusion. Now they was trying to figure out, man, why is it that humans got 46 chromosomes and chimpanzees got 48 chromosomes? Guess what they realized? That the chromosomes actually fuse, and it's called gene 2 fusion. It fused. The chromosomes fused, the ends of it, the telomeres, they fused together, which left humans with 46. Now, I talked about recombination. Why these genes recombination? This breaks us into the Egyptian conversation. So I'm telling you, your great-great-grandmother could be your genealogical ancestor, but not your genetic ancestor. I'm going to say this again. Your great-great-great-great-grandmother could be your genealogical ancestor, meaning without her, your ass would not be here, but she's not connected to you by genes. Your genetic ancestor means we're connected by genes. And you say, well, how is this possible? Well, the reason the genes are recombinating so a virus, right, will not attack you and kill us. That's why sex evolved, so we could keep up with the organisms. We're in an arms race against killer organisms. We're surrounded by trillions of viruses on planet Earth. And so you have to evolve or die on planet Earth. You have to transform. That's why people died from coronavirus. And some did and some didn't. Those that didn't, right, will have babies that will have better resistance to the coronavirus. We do things like vaccines so you don't got to really catch it. We give you something to make your body think you caught it, okay, which would give you the antibodies that will protect you against it. But diseases are always, viruses and pathogens are always trying to kill us. And so the mechanism of sex actually allows us to reproduce again, which will cause the genes to recombinate again, which would change the pattern of it, which would hopefully put you in a position to help fight against certain pathogens. Simple as that. Now, go to school and get a better understanding of that. Okay? Simple as that. So hit the damn link if you're talking that talk. If not, yo, then I thought I did what I need to do today.
All right, close us out. You got the last word, brother.
My point is, man, while y'all cheering and bombs is going off and all that, yo, slow it down. You need to actually slow it down. It might not be what you think you're hearing. I want to focus on Yara for a minute because he came up here and he tried to act like something that Carol Cooney was doing. That was, she wasn't doing nothing. She explained about what she was doing and she said it. Now he come up here having a ready-made presentation, not even fit for Cooney. He just wanted to just do what he do, make y'all think he's slick and rocking, right? And he brings things that like to have nothing to do with my conversation. Matter of fact, I told him, I said, yeah, it was a gradual process to get to that formalized process of racialization, right? He wanted to make you think that this process was happening during the time periods I was talking about. I was talking about time periods from 300,000 all the way up to the formation of the Nile Valley. Two different time periods. So let this be a lesson to you. Always make a person talk about chronology. Chronology is essential in understanding anything about history. Last but not least, this is the black scientist. Put my thing up here, Saw. I want to show you all the black scientists, right? They all talk about, I don't. Shane Campbell Stanton. Now, who is Shane? Who is this guy? Right? I'm going to switch right here. This guy is a PhD. Y'all seen the picture of him. And what did he do? Let me read it. Relatively few studies have looked at natural selection effects on individuals' extreme weather events. Campbell Stanton, here you go. Campbell Stanton explains, given the difficulty of anticipating those events. He say the concept for the just published study emerged by chance in 2013 when he was doing a dissertation research on a related topic. It say the evolution of cold tolerance in green animals. That's animals. It say several million years ago. It say ancestors of that species migrated from present-day Cuba to the United States. It say today their descendants live in regions as relatively cold as Tennessee and Oklahoma. Campbell Stanton was trying to understand what physiological and genetic processes allow lizards farther north to survive in harsher winter climates. It goes on to say, soon after returning from what he thought would be his last collection trip, he came across a photo in the Boston Globe of the green abalone in Alabama. It say lying dead in the snow during the 2014 cold snap. I immediately went back to Scott Jonathan with an idea of trying to measure natural selection in response to the event, he says. I'm gonna stop right there. I want y'all to get the article, right? Maybe so I can put it in the chat or something. I'm gonna put it right here. I can't even put this out. My dad gonna copy paste ain't working. Y'all know I'm dysfunctional with that one. The point is, when I told Chris, I say, Chris, the brother was studying the lizards, right? And it was a cold front that came in. When he came back, he recognized it evolved. This is the backing of what I talked about. This is a black science, extreme weather evolution. Happened very fast. And lizards is right there for everybody to see, right?
All right. Thank you, my brother Ankh.
Appreciate you, bro.
For he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow, which nobody can deny, which nobody can deny, which nobody can deny. For he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow, which nobody can deny.
Can't take the pressure, sign it. You gotta have your shit together, sign it. They be cracking under pressure, sign it. Sign it. Yeah, look, this the toughest environment screaming. If you ain't got a source and you reaching, this the home of consciousness and communication. This the toughest environment screaming. Yeah, they can't take the pressure, sign it. You gotta have your shit together, sign it. They be cracking under pressure, sign it. Sign it. Yeah, yeah. This the toughest environment screaming. If you ain't got a source and you reaching, it's the home of consciousness and communication. It's the toughest environment stream. A clay pot to a priestess. Knowledge took a hold of my mind. I seek the origin. Workers are collected to go from brothers to partisans. Tell me your agenda, the purpose of your historian. We just kicking knowledge to push our people to war again. Battles for the mind of the youth who ask questions. God's son still in the flesh. That's sa.neter. Being is the enemy, knowing I know nothing. Get it off your chest when I call, don't start running. When you in that hot seat, nigga, don't start bugging. Put you in that back chat, that's that thugging. Sounding like a whole lot of faith that won't cut it. Waiting for the next episode, straight out of Harlem. I was planting seeds on the corner, just trying to blossom. Thoughts in the minds of our people to lead a garden, nigga. Yeah, they can't take the pressure, sign it. Gotta have your shit together, sign it. They be cracking under pressure, sign it. Sign it, yeah.
All right, y'all already know what it is. It's going down tomorrow at 7 o'clock. You don't want to miss it. We're going to show you why Nepal Shadar is the champion of the HOK. Make no mistake about it. She's going up against Ryan. Ryan's head has gotten swollen, pause. He got a big head swell, pause, because he been beating up Hebrews. Everybody been telling him he's been beating and spanking Israelites. Now he's going up against one of the top. One of the top. This is why men Israelites don't want no smoke with Nepal Shaddai. The brothers don't want no smoke with Nepal Shaddai because she's the decoder of the Bible. She know how to go and decode and break it down like a master supposed to. Y'all gonna learn a lot tomorrow. Watch and see. This brother here, he believes that Jesus was the only human sacrifice. Not only him, but a lot of Israelites too. And so when Nepal steps up tomorrow and show him that there's many human sacrifices in the Bible, he might go home, stab himself. I don't know, but I hope he'll be all right. I'm going to give him a call when the debate is over to make sure he's all right. But it's going down tomorrow. Don't miss it. This is going to be a high, powerful debate right here. All I ask is to please donate and support Nepal Shaddai tomorrow. Y'all can start now. Can anybody throw her link, her Cash App in the chat, please? H. Millette, you there? H. Millette, you there? I spoke to her earlier and I asked her to check her Cash App, and it's crazy because nobody, y'all don't support. Like, why y'all not supporting her, man? Come on, bro. She went out and bought books and went to dig deep into this. When people do debates, man, they go into the laboratory. That's why you ain't see her live for a minute. She's studying. She's digging up all kind of stuff. So please show my queen some love, man. You know, show my queen some love up in here. Her Cash App is right in the chat. If y'all got 5, 10, 15, 20, throw it in there. I need Nepal Shaddai's Cash App. Nepal Shaddai Cash App. Yeah, thank you, H. Millette. Let's get that, man. Because if she wasn't so committed to doing this, I'll tell her don't do it until we get a certain amount in there. But she want to get it in. I would tell her don't do it until you get this amount, at least. Because if all the brothers could get paid, why she can't? Check. Check. So let's support Nepal Shaddai. We're going to go on a damn, I lost the word for that. What's the word that's coming back to me? Help me out, y'all. Campaign, when you go on and on. Damn. When you go on and you promote and you get Cash App all the way up until the show. What's the word I'm looking for? Come on, smartest chat on YouTube. Come on, Lasar Car. I need my best people. Not promote. It's another word that we use. Ryan is in the building. Ryan is in the building, y'all. I know Ryan been studying hard for this too. You know? What's the word I'm looking for, y'all? Come on, this is the smartest chat. When you go on and on, leading all the way up to the debate, we're going to have a... Damn, Ryan. Ryan got 110 slides. You know what, Ryan? Not a fundraiser. It's not a fundraiser. That's not the word I'm looking for. Not a fundraiser. Like, let's say you go live in the afternoon and you stay live all the way up into the debate. Not a build-up. That's not the word I'm looking for. How the hell it just slipped my mind just now. Damn. Y'all can't even get it. Marathon. Thank you, Cynthia. Marathon. There you go. That's the word I was looking for. Marathon. Thank you, Cynthia. I knew you would get it. Yep. A marathon. That's what we need. We're going to have a marathon. Yep. I don't know if that's I don't know if that's a fake account, but Cynthia Gary, that's my wife there. I don't know, because she do have an account like that, but I don't know if that's her. So I know they got fake accounts. You know what I'm saying? But I know they got fake accounts up in here. But that's my queen right there as well. That's my queen. So I got my man Divine Prospect in the building. Long time no see. We were supposed to have something. I'm going to see y'all tomorrow. We're going to have a marathon, man. We're going to have a marathon tomorrow for Nepal. And she deserves it, y'all. If anybody deserve it, she deserve it. So let's get that in. Peace and black power. Ryan, 7 o'clock tomorrow. I see you, brother. See you later. And Ryan, one more thing. If you are unable, 7 o'clock, my time. If you are unable to get 110 slides shown, you are welcome to come over and finish off your presentation on another show. Because I'm telling you now, you are not going to be able to get 110 slides shown. I'll let you know that offhand. So put your best foot forward, put your best slides in the front, and let's get it in. And I said the same thing to Nepal. I told her, put your best stuff on 1, 2, and 3. Because you want to show your best at 1, 2, and 3 rounds. And put the rest in the back. Now, I know that's going to be hard to do. But you got to do it. I can't give you 18 minutes because that's a little doing overkill. I'm giving both of y'all 15 minutes. And to show you that I'm not being biased, Nepal was begging me for 15, 18 as well. And I told her I don't want a drawn out debate. I don't want it to get boring and corny and tired. I don't want that. I want y'all to get it in, and that's it. If it's too long, it gets drawn out. People don't want to stand up there and listen to one person for 20 minutes or 18 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Now, if the people are good with it, I'm going to ask the crowd tomorrow, should we give them 18 minutes? And if they good with it, I'm going to rock with the people because we do it for the people. All right? So we're going to see how it works. We're going to see how we get it in. Show some support for Nepal Shada. Hit that Cash App. 15 is good. That's what I'm trying to tell him, Tony Chiba. That's what I'm trying to tell him. But we're going to ask the audience and see what they say. Peace and Black Power. We out.